ourselves into this game because that's what we're all here for. It's for the defense. With
You gotta stop calling it. You could call it the D. You could call it the D, but you can't make that voice at the same time. If you want to be like, the defense, yeah, okay. Or if you want to call it, yeah, we're gonna be casting the D. I'm all down with that, Toby. Just don't. You can't combine the both. That's too much. Yeah, that's too much.
It's just enough for me, man.
That's enough D for you.
That's just the right amount of D for me. That's what it's all about, bro. All right, into our game we go, and we're drafting underway. For tonight, in case people are wondering what is up for grabs, you should actually head over to the website, the-defense.com. I can't actually go the-defense.com. The place to find out the group stage standings. You'll see it pretty much at the top of the page. So we have 2 series for you tonight. The first one is Golden Boys versus Power Rangers, and the second series is Stark versus Monkey. Now, if you look at our second group in Phase 1, Stark and PR are on exactly the same score, 4-4. So everyone in the group stage plays 10 times. 2 times against each other. Now, tonight, it's not about getting a 1-1. It's not about getting a 2-0. It's about getting more points than the opposition to secure that third position. Only the top 3 will go through. Stark and PR are neck and neck for this. Now, the teams that struggle to catch up to this is the Monkey Freedom Fighters. Now, they do play their game up next, and potentially they could actually go 5-7. But it would require, and then they'll go through, but it would require Golden Boys to win this series.
I thought you said everyone plays 10 times. That means MFF are done playing.
Yes, you're 100% right. So
I was like, I was really confused there. I was like, what?
I take it back. I take it back. It's Stark going up against Monkey Business is our last game of the night. Yeah. Sorry, I take that back. It's only between 3rd and 4th. I got my monkeys mixed.
You were probably thinking of what happened there, Toby. Is you were thinking of Phase 1 as well, where there's another series left in Phase 1 where one of the teams is 1-7 and they have a match to play against Scary Faces.
Yes, that was what Dennis was talking about the night before. Hence, I was thinking about there was another chance with a random match. Thanks, Cap. So yes, Monkey Business is through no matter what the result is tonight. But it's all up to Stark and Power Rangers to see how many points they can get this evening. I'm sorry, Golden Boys, there is no hope.
Yeah. They're playing for nothing right now.
Yeah.
We have Stark versus Monkey Business. Oh man, that's tough. That's really tough. Like our Arcade Power Rangers should be in the better position because Monkey Business have been crushing people left and right. So they're facing up against the team that has barely gotten a single win under their belts.
Mm-hmm.
Should be a 2-0.
It should be. So Power Rangers basically require 1 game in this series.
Yeah, essentially, if they just go 1-1. Then they should be able to, because I imagine Monkey Business will go 9-1 in total, just because they've been looking so damn good lately. I really feel like they're easily the best, newest team out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, people are going to look at like,
Funkyungs?
Next to Funkyungs, I feel like Monkey Business is maybe a little bit better than them, but Funkyungs also have like a really impressive record. They've been crushing everybody, both inside the defense and outside. So it's tough
if only
to say.
they had a land result, we might actually be looking at them being directly invited. But they're not Vega.
Didn't make it.
No,
Didn't make it.
No, they did not. Let's actually talk about our draft, man, because we're getting a fair way through it. I'm not surprised to see heroes like Broodmother as well as SF being banned out. Maybe a little bit of SF, but it makes sense when you slip the Queen of Pain through. But Night Stalker as well as Doombringer, we're starting to see more and more Doom on the off lane, but it still feels like a weak hero in the early stages at least.
Yeah, I feel like Doom has gotten some serious buffs. I do want to point out, so Golden Boys have actually picked up all 3 of their cores in the first 3, which is pretty odd. One of the cores, the Ember Spirit, that's like a standard hero, I would say, for Golden Boys. They're one of the teams that has been running Ember Spirit a lot, both, going back. I mean, they were one of the first teams that ran like Phantom Lancer and Ember Spirit consecutively back in early 6.84 days. Mm-hmm. So this is very much comfort for them. The Beastmaster has been an offlaner who's been valued a lot more lately. His Boots of Travel Necronomicon builds has been pretty good, I would say, versus many of these squishy, more glass cannon type heroes that we're seeing run. Still left over from 6.84.
Is
Queen
it a
of
lot of
Pain
people
and
actually
Lena.
running that build? Because I know Mag kind of displayed it all during this, like the weekend at the ESL1.
I feel like pretty much everyone runs Necrobook. Necrobook 3. I haven't really seen anybody. If they go for Blink Dagger before, which is kind of rare right now, but that's the other build. They go for Blink Dagger before the Necrobook. But I think people value the Necrobook just too much, which does put Beastmaster into a little bit more of a farming offlaner position. You look at other heroes, especially from 6.84, that were very popular, Tusk, Clockwork. Those were heroes that were able to make their laning phase work via some sort of mechanic abuse. But we're also able to rotate very early on. Tusk and Earthshaker rotate pre-level 6. Clockwork, just needs his level 6, and then he's able to rotate around. Beastmaster requires a lot more time in lane, and this is setting Golden Boys up essentially where their Queen of Pain and Ember Spirit are actually going to be more of the aggressors, and Beastmaster is actually going to be playing more of a farm role as an offlane position than you would normally see.
And you're okay with that, though, if you're a Beastmaster. Like, you're going to feel pretty stable inside your lane. Yeah, and Earthshaker and Dazzle might cause you a couple of problems, but when you've got Boars and Hawks to scout out, if you can get those early levels, you should be set. And you are running the Beastmaster on dire side, so there's Ancient stacking as well, which is also a possibility for you. That is probably the one big weakness of Golden Boys until the Ember Spirit gets the Battle Fury up. They don't really have good Ancient clear.
A nice kill combo. I love the Skywrath Mage pickup here just because Skywrath Mage, I think, has been a little underutilized, especially given the kill combos that are able to set up with these offlaners. The Beastmaster, Skywrath Mage, very obvious one. You throw down the Roar. The Roar lasts just long enough for the Skywrath Mage to do the full amount of damage with his ultimate. But it also works really well against Legion Commander, a hero who, once she duels, she sits in one position, right?
Yeah.
It's only until she gets the Blade Mail that becomes a little bit of a dangerous game. But the Skywrath Mage, I think, works really well with Beastmaster and works against the Legion Commander. And obviously, there are certain things like the Silence being really valuable against Lena and Earthshaker that are going to come into play as well.
Yeah, even the Legion Commander, like, you want to blink in. If you get sealed up before you can really do anything, you're going to get trapped out. And then, as we also, like, I can't get it out of my mind what Mag did with that Beastmaster. But if you're able to blink and you get the Necro units off, you can burn mana so quickly that Legion Commander won't be able to actually trigger off anything. And looks like Power Ridge is going to finish with the old standard Gyrocopter. So, very stable in the safe lane. You could run a dual lane with the Legion and the Dazzle. There shouldn't be any real damage which would make those guys be concerned. The Lena mid, and then your Earthshaker roaming. Are you happy to leave the Gyro up against the Beastmaster by himself? Maybe the Dazzle actually has to stay on safe lane to keep that Beastmaster out.
Yeah, I think so. At best, you're going to have the Earthshaker maybe roam around a bit because into the Lena lane, you could also see maybe an early Fisher block to help out the Legion Commander's off lane a bit. But this is going to be some pretty set lanes from Power Rangers. Meanwhile, Golden Boys, they have a little bit more to work with, I would say, in the Crystal Maiden as a 4 position. First of all, Skywrath Mage to start with is an excellent mid laner. He's one of the few supports that works really well as a dual lane mid in the first minute and a half. So you'll probably see that in the beginning. And then the Crystal Maiden also has the jungling capabilities. So I'd say Golden Boys actually have a lot more opportunities to get farm on their supports. And that will, in their idea, hopefully snowball with the Ember Spirit and Queen of Pain, who are both early fighters, early tempo controllers, right? And they just run around and getting pickoffs. Power Rangers, they basically double down on damage with that Gyrocopter last pick. The Gyrocopter is one of those heroes that can fight really early on, but he is very fragile. And I would say he's very susceptible to the Queen of Pain's nukes, as well as particularly the Beastmaster's lockdown is really good versus Gyrocopter as well. So I'm a bit concerned, but Power Rangers are putting a lot of faith in their Bignum. The Dazzle here has to do a lot of work. I think they accidentally just canceled the TP.
Yeah. There's a TP coming up top, which I thought was for the Observer Ward.
Yeah, I think Cheshire Cat meant to TP out. Maybe he didn't get the ward in time or something, and decided to cancel it because his support was AFK. But this means it wasn't going to work anyway because the support already TP'd out and placed the early laning ward. So he would have been met right inside the jungle, and the offlaner wouldn't have been able to get that early advantage down. But it is going to feel a bit awkward for Cheshire Cat, and he's probably going to... I mean, that's something that could tilt you, from the very beginning. It's just thinking, once you do get picked off, once you die, and maybe even give away first blood, you're going to think, what if I had finished that TP? What if I had been able to get the ward out early?
Well, now... Okay, they're actually pinging at the rough position, the ward too, so yeah, Cheshire Cat's going to be forced back. Luckily for him, that orb from Skywrath Mage isn't doing that much damage yet. But you're right, it's going to be a real rough lane once that Observer ward goes down. And is it Sentry wards coming out? Yeah, the Sentries, Observers, as well as Clarities. Maybe a little bit easier if they're able to fight, which, with the top rune secure, they do lock down that Ember Spirit. What does he want to go for? Not going to level up anything for the moment. Just backs up, gives up the 100-100 rune. But this means both Gyro and the Lina are the ones to take the 100-100 runes. Crystal Maiden can block up all she really wants. The Queen of Pain is coming to the mid lane, but you're starting with a Null Talisman, and you're behind the money of the Lina. I'm a little concerned that what has been one of the most successful mid-heroes, the Queen of Pain, is going to have a rough time up against this Lina if he starts just hitting a couple of Light Strike arrays and doing that chip damage early on to force Queen of Pain out of the lane.
Oh yeah, I mean, with the slight nerf to the Lina, it particularly hurts her mid-laning phase potential. She was really the one hero that could challenge the Queen of Pain before in 6.84, if you include Leshrac constantly being banned out. So this matchup you would see all the time, and the Lina was actually the one hero that could challenge the Queen of Pain. And in this current patch, it's less likely. Right, the Queen of Pain is usually the one who dominates the middle lane. Pretty much no one really challenges her for that position anymore. But Chomi being able to have that slight experience advantage is definitely going to help out.
Yeah, and that's something too which Kiza just has to be mindful of. I'm also liking the movement down here on the bottom lane, where Tron's getting very aggressive up against Skylark. He's tried to keep him out of experience range for a while, but this was inevitable that the creep wave would come underneath the tower, and this will finally give Beastmaster access available, so at least he could try and do some farming from range. Could be careful about his life drop, but Tron's not going to stick around to fight underneath that tower. The most important thing for Tron so far has just been making sure that Skylark has to burn through his consumables. The Dazzle came in to give harassment, and there's no real presence from the boars. It's not starting to build up for Golden Boys.
Yeah, the single support, it's really difficult, and they probably read this. The Earthshaker is not a laning support, right? If he is run as a 4 position, he's going to roam around pretty heavily. He's going to put a lot of pressure on the middle lane, which means you're, as an offlaner, left with only one support to deal with, as the Crystal Maiden. And one-on-one, Beastmaster just destroys that matchup because the boars are so incredibly... I mean, look at Bignum right now. He picks up the rune and immediately has to TP down to the lane. Otherwise, he'd just be run down by the Beastmaster. Yeah. So they are eventually just going to give everything to the Beastmaster, and that's not much they can really do to stop it, except for just making him burn through regen. So yep. Gyrocopter has the right idea there.
We just come in for the rotation, take everything back from him right now. The Beastmaster just been poison touched up. Bignum's going to harass him out. The Observer Ward makes it impossible though for that Earthshaker to roam in and just say, hey, here's a fissure, and Skylark to be called off guard. But I'm still very concerned about Golden Boys with their rune control. The fact that they've missed all 4 runes that have spawned up in this game so far, and then you get Legion Commander, who hasn't really been shut down, 9 for 1 on this offlane compared to the 5 for 1, but it's more the experience as well, where she's almost a level in front of Skylark. So this is where my concern's coming in, where the Golden Boys, they're just not getting enough out of the lanes, especially when this kind of stuff happens. The Queen of Pain is not going to take enough damage that she dies, but she blinks away still short of the bottom money.
Yeah, she'll get it now off of Tick Gold, but it is important that the Lina establishes that kind of dominance over the Queen of Pain during this laning phase. And, well, it results in just more CS every single time. As long as you're, like, top level players, they combine the harassment and the rune that they get from that with more denies and more CS than the enemy mid laner. So you're going to see a CS advantage going the way of the Lina pretty early on. This also means she gets level 6 before the Queen of Pain, and yeah, Queen of Pain down to 45 HP, meaning that bottle that just came in isn't even going to heal the Queen of Pain up to the safety zone. He can actually still be fissured and combo down.
Yeah, this is so concerning for him with no vision. Like the Absorbs and Sentries have made sure the Golden Boys can't see what's coming their way. And now we go for the runes. This time Golden Boys will be able to find themselves a rune. It's only a bounty rune coming in for the Lina. But Skylark finds himself a regeneration rune, and he is definitely saving this one for the Queen of Pain. You want to get her up to safety zone, she's going to hit it now.
I'm trying to think if is Chomi. I didn't actually take the time to look at his Steam profile before, but is he actually a stand-in or because they were playing with a Rise earlier?
I see. There was rumors about a Rise switching teams, and that he moved. Well, there's that fissure combo, but it was before level 6 hit. Yay! First blood missed. Wonderful style.
Okay, I didn't see that one either.
No. That was a poison touch damage. Back behind the tier 1 tower, he ended up dropping.
Yeah. Slowly but surely just takes himself away. All right, they're going to try and get a counter kill on middle lane. You see Crystal Main is actually smoked up.
They might just have a crack up on top lane. This kill I can see. Cheshire Cat battling up against Madara. Then again, his damage output with the increased damage from the tower, Madara will end up surviving through this one.
But look at middle lane. Chomi's going to end up going down. The tick of the poison should be enough to finish him off. He throws out a little extra damage because he knows he's dead. But a well-executed gank by the Crystal Main. This is just the danger of her as a hero is that she's always off map, so it's very tough to judge as a mid laner when that gank is going to be coming in, particularly if it's through smoke.
Because she doesn't even have to show herself. She's one of these like roaming. I won't say roaming gankers because she doesn't have the movement speed for that. But you can just sit inside the jungle as a proper jungler as the CM because of the interaction Frostbite has with neutrals. And she does have 4.5 levels, and this maybe also explains where some of that mana was coming from for Kisa in the mid. Even though he didn't have the bottle, he could still actually harass a little bit more or not feel too scared about blinking himself away. It's not a great mana regen, but it's something in the early stages.
I like the way that, he did go down earlier, but I think that's totally fine. I think Cheshire Cat is playing this offlane Legion Commander really well. He's probably going to go down again here. Maybe.
He's low. With the Searing Chains back out of the tower, no, you got to press the attack to break free of that.
Yeah, the advantage is that press the attack will remove both Frostbite as well as the chains, so it's rather potent versus these disables.
Last Striker Ray's going to connect.
Oh!
That's, okay. That was a little bit of mistiming right there.
That was a caster's curse, is what it was.
Well, the funny thing is,
yourself.
He didn't have to throw the Slave. All he had to do was throw the Last Striker Ray and go directly into Laguna. That would have been enough damage straight away to get the kill. And it's because of, again, this lack of vision. Like, the dire observer wards just do not exist. There's another observer ward freshly planted down by PR, which is still watching the rotation from the top lane. So, GB just don't see this coming, but this time they're lucky enough to survive it.
Kaiser's going to come down to the bottom lane, just burst down the poor gyrocopter. Bignum, he's going to go for the counter kill. I really love this play.
He can get this too. With the poison touch, he knows the Queen of Pain's just going to tick out. And well, who's going to really stop him from doing so? He's already burnt through his stick charges. There's no more mana available for him to get his... Okay, he may as well spend... Okay, is he waiting for Arcanes? Okay, It doesn't matter. Beastmaster will end up killing him off. The Fissure flew in from PR. And J4, he just needs to enchant Totem, but it's all too late. The TPR's already happened in time. And Crystal Maiden retreats back behind the tower. So the Queen of Pain ends up dying in the bottom lane. The Legion Commander again died on the top. So GB keep finding kills on that safe lane for the beast, for the Ember Spirit at least.
Yeah, the big advantage, though, is that the Legion Commander has more experience, or at least did have a lot more experience than the Beastmaster. Him being a part of those kills and TPing out successfully obviously made him catch up. But Cheshire Cat has played this lane the way you kind of have to. You have to play it really offensively because you can't afford to have your Legion Commander very underleveled. And him being aggressive also makes more space for the middle lane because the Skywrath Mage has to stay up there in the top lane as well as potentially the Crystal Maiden comes and ganks you. If the Crystal Maiden comes and ganks the top lane and takes out the offlaner, you're happy with that because at that point in time, that means that the gank didn't take out your Lina, which is so much more important. Like, she's necessary to have that early amount of gold to get the Yule Scepter, whereas Legion Commander basically just needs levels and a Blink Dagger, a little less cost-heavy in the first 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. The difference between when one offlaner comes online or the other. But having Legion already with this level 6, it's actually... I'm not seeing the Blink Dagger on her just yet. Do you want to see that rotation from J4? Like, he also needs to get his Blink Dagger up and running. He also needs to de-ward that sentry ward before he loses his own sentry. But he'll have the fade time, he can just tango it.
I would say, if anything, they're probably going to rotate the Lina up to top lane soon. And Cheshire Cat essentially is just going to try and catch him with the duel. And obviously that disable lasts so long that the Lina will be able to combo with it.
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just not sure if they're ready for it just yet. The Lina probably wants to finish up the Yule Scepter, possibly, because she's clearing through stacks right now. Like, she'll have every bit of the Yule Scepter except for the recipes, so... And that's just that extra little bit of utility and maybe movement speed that is going to matter when you go up for that top lane gank.
Still very concerned about the difference in the CS. Like, where has Madara been most of this time? It's the net worth difference, which I'm also wondering, because you got 1 death on the Gyrocopter with 2 assists, compared to the 1 kill and 1 assist of the Ember Spirit with no deaths. But he's still behind the CS by about 300 net worth, which really shouldn't be the case.
Well, again, think about how aggressive Cheshire Cat has been playing. And yeah, he's died twice, but think about how many times they tried to go on him. Yeah, he may have died twice, but they probably tried to go on him 6, 7, maybe even 8 times. And that's time that is spent where the Ember Spirit is not getting CS.
Good point. Good point. Where he has to back up. Now it's Golden Boys who will attempt to kill, but J4 hanging inside the tree line. Doesn't have his level 6 just yet, and Chommy's going to move directly into this one. The Urging is going to get down here for the fissure in time, but Lina is already dead. But the fissure stun will connect over on the Beastmaster. But it's the perfect time to rotate in and get himself a kill. It all goes towards that buy Skylark a Necro fund. They're not going to find anything else. Power Rangers, they're just holding back. This is a 4-hero commitment down to the bot lane.
Yeah, the best part of this is that maybe next time didn't even have to blow Mystic Flare in order to get that kill. So he still has it available, still has a chunk of mana. So they can easily take this tier 1 in the middle lane. They know that if anybody comes forward, maybe next time, we'll get them from behind with the concussive shot and silence, and that'll be yet another pickoff.
Oh, here comes maybe. J4 goes for the Fissure. The TP comes forward from Tron. The Ember Spirit actually missed its Line of Fist Searing Chain. You do get the seal over on the Dazzle, but it just reveals the position of the Skywrath Mage. They don't have a stun, however, to go on to him. So all 5 players from Power Rangers baited into this middle lane. And they're really finding anything in return. So this might just turn into a pushed kind of power play from PR.
They get the deny on the middle tower. I think they're pretty happy with that. I'm not sure if they'd be able to take the tier 1 mid. Golden Boys didn't actually blow very much in taking that tower. In fact, if anything, they're more powerful than they were before, now that Skylark is about to get his cooldown back from his ultimate.
It's just the mindset of Power Rangers. Like, you just committed so much to come into that mid lane. Why not just go for it?
Yeah, I think if I was on the side of Golden Boys, I would happily contest that. But then again, they do have, like, they're a bit greedy. Like, yes, the Ember Spirit and the Queen of Pain come online relatively early. Ember Spirit, especially as a carry, does a lot more than most others. But they still need to continue to try and get farm on their 3 cores. Because, namely, it's because their offlaner, Beastmaster, requires a lot more than any other. So I guess I'm okay with them sitting back. It's definitely the safer choice to farm and give up that middle tower.
At the same time, though, they'll be forced into the decision. Like, you're watching Power Rangers now just move 4 heroes up to the top lane. Like, you can't TP Tron up there just yet as this Gyrocopter, but he's going to walk himself up there with Face Boot, so it won't take him long to arrive. And they use Cheshire Cat as bait. And they know what Golden Boys have got, because they got one aggressive Observer Ward down inside the Dire Jungle, so they know that the Crystal Maiden is not there, that she is going to be farming up. In fact, they don't know that Skywrath Mage just left. So if Cheshire Cat can get close enough for this, no, he can't. Defensive Spirit, and they're going to give up another tower.
Yeah, Skylark is, I mean, he's close to his Necronomicon. He really doesn't want to fight right now, so they're just going to split push it. Nice choice, though. This may come at the perfect time. Maybe next time.
Oh, TP's coming in with a Yule Scepter. They can drop the Beastmaster. Laguna Blade can't get the roar off in time. Cheshire Cat, if he wasn't sealed, it would have been a guaranteed duel win. So at least maybe next time you can deny him the extra 10 potential damage. But you've just protected your tier 1 tower. Top lane, J4 still wants to try and fight this one. Throws out the fissure a little bit too early. Allows him to ensure the kill on the tower. The Echo Slam cancelling off the freezing field. But at this point, it's just a Shallow Grave TP out. You lost your Earthshaker, but you've just taken 2 towers in the space of 2 minutes. And you denied one as well.
It is really risky to contest, especially since they committed 2 TPs for it, that bottom lane, right? The Lina's going, okay, we can go ahead and push this tower as well as, keep our bottom tower intact and I can get a pick off. But they committed 2 different TPs for it. Very easily, Golden Boys could have punished that top lane push, maybe gotten a deny in their tower, maybe picked up even more than that.
Cheshire Cat, get out of there. He's actually got to press the attack right now. Actually, press at the same time as they try and steal him. But there goes your Mystic Flare. So Legion Commander will end up dying. There was a smoke gank from maybe next time as well as Skylark, but considering the nighttime we just hit as well, they could have done it without the smoke.
This is the build, by the way, the Skywrath Mage. You're not going to see really any other supports do this. I guess I've maybe seen like a Rubik do, 2, maybe 3 bracers before, but that's a very rare build. Skywrath Mage is pretty much the only support who will start spamming out those cheap stat items. So you're going to see double, maybe even triple Null Talisman, depending on how he feels. Just to start statting up a little bit. It helps your tankiness quite a bit, and obviously your damage really benefits when you have, like, if you get 3 of them, it's plus 18 intelligence. That increases the damage of your arcane bolts by a significant amount.
And GB, this is why I'd never, like you talk about Skylark, who takes a while to farm up his Necrobook and doesn't want to fight until he has level 1 Necrobook. But I'm not seeing too much of a problem for PR having these Necros on the field. The Gyrocopter's got enough life that he's going to be able to survive just flat cannoning them down. And they don't do enough when they're just level 1. Like, that's the reason why Beastmasters normally gave up actually buying most of the Necrobook until they were at a point where they can get the level 2 Necro, and then you'd summon it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't forget that the Necrobook 1 did get buffed up in 6.84, which I think is the primary reason you're seeing Beastmasters go for the Necrobook build first.
Is it still enough, though? Like what's the increase?
It's not going to be enough by itself to really threaten the Gyrocopter, but it does add a certain amount of damage, and you also include the fact that, like, okay, it's going to be soaking up, like, Rocket Barrage damage. If the Gyrocopter kills that melee Necronomicon unit, that's going to be a large amount of damage that's bursted back to him real quickly. And also you're looking at it in the fact that Golden Boys, this is also an investment in the future.
Well, they're TPing in right now. Top lane, Madara starts over on the Lina. Defensive Yule set will buy a space. And now in comes the Legion Commander. It's going to press the attack. Lina back out of here and starts the duel over on the Crystal Maiden. Cancelling the ulti, winning the duel. And the Fidgetstun also hitting into the Skywrath Mage. Difficult to get away. Now they're going to see him, but it's too late. They don't have a follow-up stun. Too far away for the Echo Slam. The Dazzle got picked off on the bottom lane too, so he was unable to TP with the rest of his team. But this is now 2 Tier 1 towers the Power Rangers have lost, but they've denied both of them.
Yeah, they really should have known that they needed to commit a little bit better for that Lina kill. For example, if the Crystal Maiden had not used Crystal Nova, or positioned herself forward enough and just said, it's worth it, I'll tank the sacrifice, I'll get the Frostbite after she comes back down from the Yules to ensure that the Skywrath Mage ultimate does its full amount of damage, they would have gotten that trade-off. But because they sort of hem and hawed and they wanted to get, have their cake and eat it too, essentially, they wanted to be able to pick off the Lina but still get out with no losses. What ends up happening is that they lose a hero and don't gain really anything for it. Yes, they got the kill at the bottom lane, but they would have gotten that anyway. If they'd killed the Lina, it would have been a huge jump for them. In fact, it would have stopped the Blink Dagger that Chomi now has.
It's the double Blink Daggers. It's not just Chomi, it's Cheshire Cat as well. And with the Observe Ward placement they've got from before, they can see the Skywrath Mage moving up, and that's why press the attack into the duel with Laguna Blade. It's just ensuring bonus damage, free bonus damage into this Legion Commander.
Yeah, that's pretty critical. Legion Commander, the only offlaner that really snowballs and has the potential late game.
Can they do this bottom?
I don't think so.
The Crystal Maiden's here with an Invis Rune, but you got a Gyrocopter that's also there. So CM goes into the tree. She's only halfway through her Invis duration, but there's a Radiant Sentry Ward which is sitting in the jungle.
So, Big Nim knows.
Okay, yeah, he's getting body blocked. He's like, but his teammates aren't turning. Like, they're not going around from him. He's going to Shallow Grave and then TP out. They have to Beastmaster Raw to stop this, but you're committing your Raw to kill off a Dazzle. I suppose they're still successful at the end of the day, but I'm surprised the rest of PR didn't try and turn around and help him.
Yeah, maybe they realized, like, okay, if there is an Invis hero and he's so boldly locking you in like that, there's got to be more heroes behind it, right? So maybe they just figured, you know what, you're kind of done for.
We'll accept the fact you're a Dazzle, you're only meant to Grave. Who cares if your net worth's only at 1,500?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, support's dying is a very, very minimal cost to the team. You would much rather ensure that your Gyrocopter stays alive, and he finishes up that BKB, because the BKB is a necessity here. A lot of magic damage on the Queen of Pain, but the main kill combo here is going to be the Beastmaster ultimate paired with the Skywrath Mage ultimate. Now, the lockdown will still go through the BKB, but the Skywrath Mage ultimate will not, and that's a very critical factor. Plus, the BKB also stops a large amount of the Necronomicon damage as well, so that magic immunity is going to come in at a clutch time, and Power Rangers realize that they just need to finish farming those items, the BKB and maybe the Blink from J4, before they fight again.
It's also like you're talking about these seals, these control abilities. Even without the BKB, you still got press the attack to try and break people free. So Cheshire Cat he's this great resource. What was it? The game we were casting, I think it was actually one of the ESL qualifiers, but it was Bounty Hunter being played up against a hero like Legion Commander. And you're like, well, okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to track this. Oh, no, I can't.
Yeah.
Press the attack just debuffs. And you're like, okay, where do we really go from here? So we talk about like Frostbite control, we talk about Syrian Chain control, Seal potential control, Raw control, but then you press the attack and you break free of everything.
Yeah, Cheshire, I mean, this is probably one of the biggest, like, everybody likes to talk about dueling, it's sexy.
Jump out. This is going to be very simple to do.
Oh, nice.
And they even waited out. You could see Chomi, he held back. He knew the Laguna Blade wasn't enough to get the kill, but he stopped himself from attacking, and that allowed Cheshire Cat time to get there for the duel.
Oh, they're going to find the Ember Spirit as well. Of course, he should have a Spirit, or maybe not. Oh, God, he's actually going to be locked down here.
He's got a new Spirit out. J4 can't follow him, though. There's no Blink Dagger. Cheshire Cat's got his off cooldown, but he doesn't have the control with duel.
Yeah, that was actually the only reason he escaped there was because J4 didn't have the mana for Echo Slam. If he had, that would have been just a chain stun to bring the Ember Spirit down. He's got to be more careful with that, though.
Oh,
he needs to make sure he always has a Spirit out.
Yeah. I was about to say J4's like, what more can he do, man? It's just involved in a very heavy fight. He can't. He can't have more mana.
Yeah, that's not on J4.
They're going to fight bottom. The tier 1 tower's already been killed off now. Yeah, there's no mana for an Echo Slam. J4 doesn't get the TP out. In fact, they're just going to burst him down, but the BKB from the Gyro plus the flag cannon, considerable early damage, but there's no follow-up after this, and we still don't have Cheshire Cat running in. He's looking for the duel. He's looking for some kind of attack, but he's at this point turned himself into a support Legion Commander, allowing Kaiser to move himself forward for a double kill with the help here of the Ember Spirit. They're not going to find the remaining Power Rangers players as everyone's backed out and TPing out. That's a very defensive movement from Cheshire Cat. He just cut his team out before they even started the fight.
I think that was smart of him. I mean, he was finishing up his blade mail, and honestly, Power Rangers should have been a little bit more prepared for that. Because they were so close to so many critical items. The blade mail, the Blink Dagger was about to be finished up on J4, but now he's lost a lot of that gold. They had their first round of BKB, but they should want all their team fight items up at the same time. So great idea by Golden Boys contesting that towards the end and forcing that team fight before before Power Rangers become unstoppable. But particularly, there was something about that team fight. Oh, that's right, the Necronomicon. You saw how little damage the Rocket Barrage did? But yeah, it was like Clutch Shell Grave. He got like 2 different Rocket Barrages off, but they were all soaked up by the Necronomicon minions. And like the boars as well. I mean, there's like 4 different units, all that have like 500 HP or more. It's really tough for the gyrocopter's damage to actually hit the target he wants because his physical damage is very limited right now.
They're going to go for mid. Light Strike Array, missing the timing, however. Just a simple Spirit away by the Ember Spirit. But yeah, I'm starting to see more of your point, like what does the Necro units offer? Because normally when I look at the Necro units, I'm just seeing cash on wheels. Like that's all it really is.
That would be the old Necronomicon units before 6.84, Necronomicon 1, and even Necronomicon 2 in some extent. Like those minions were just not worth it. In fact, you would see players actually not build Necronomicon 1, or they wouldn't even have it on them because it wasn't worth it. But now, like ever since the patch 6.84, they made it a lot stronger.
I'm feeling that even more. But with 13-8 on the board, Golden Boys, what are we looking overall? They do actually have the advantage here, just sitting around 1,400 in the net worth. Experience it's over 3,000. Most of that, the sharp spike they got was due to Power Rangers' little overzealous stay on the bottom lane. But I'm still seeing also Power Rangers pushing to a point where their items are hitting a great spot. Like, you've already got the bonus damage in the Legion Commander thanks to Duel. You're about to get, you're still another 200 or 2,000 or so gold away from the Lena picking up a Arcade Scepter, but that pure damage will start coming online, and good luck to Crystal Maiden. You're not going to survive long. Ember Spirit might have a little bit more of a hard time. There's your perfect chain combo. The Blink Dagger was the last item I was going to get to, which is already up on the Earthshaker. So you've got that Blink instant initiation, which makes life so dangerous for heroes like Ember, who always feel so secure because of their spirits.
I think one of the this has been true for quite some time, but I think it kind of still sticks with this iteration.
Oh, Cheshire. Yep. Missed the positioning.
This iteration of Power Rangers is still pretty heavy teamfight focus. Big Num should be fine. And you can kind of see the importance of that. Show me. Oh, God.
Yeah, they triggered Necro units very
don't wanna
early
be near
for this,
that.
but the Fissure is still down. And with the orb, the Mystic Flare, is the damage going to be enough? With the press of the attack, Chomi's got enough life, and he will actually blink himself now away. The Blade Mail, Legion Commander, still does not want to stick around for this fight, but Golden Boys also don't want to dive too far over the riverside. Like, you do get that damage out in the Gyro, and the invis from the Queen of Pain's been triggered, but she cannot get close up to Cheshire Cat. These Blink Daggers allow PR to disengage, and not only disengage, they just completely outrun GB.
Kaiser might actually get a pick off on Cheshire Cat still. Oh, no.
No, Cheshire Cat's got the Sentry Ward.
Yeah,
He can actually just start this duel right now. And Queen of Pain with the jump forward, the Earthshaker, the follow-up Fissure damage. They have enough. There's a duel winner. And it's going to be Lena who's the one to secure the kill. Good cash for her now.
Yeah, that's great. Anyway, I want to go back to it because at first I was looking at this Linus build and I was going, why the Blink Dagger rather than the Shadow Blade, which we see sometimes, like the North American region. There's two notable players that actually go for Shadow Blade after the Yule Scepter, and it's particularly strong versus Ember Spirit because your Yule Scepter combo should never work on him, but you can like rotate around with the Shadow Blade, catch him out when maybe he doesn't even have Flame Guard up, you Light Strike Array and just finish him off real quickly.
Yeah.
But then I was looking and I was like, okay, what the difference? And the difference really is that Power Rangers have this team fight potential, and they work really well together as a squad, and that's been true for a very long time. When he's got other Blink Daggers that he needs to combo with, essentially, it's better for him to have that sort of instant mobility, because you saw the way Earthshaker jumped on the Ember Spirit at the bottom lane. You're also going to see that with the Legion Commander. The Blink Dagger works better with his team, whereas the Shadow Blade would be much more of like a solo YOLO sort of situation.
Yeah, and how many times are you going to be sitting there as Alina going, you know what, I actually want a solo YOLO up against someone like a Beastmaster, for example. You run around, you're looking for the Ember, you find the Beastmaster, he triggers up Necro units, you're perfectly visible, you take so much damage, and you end up just feeding a kill as opposed to getting a kill. It seems to be better the Power Rangers just stick up as 4 or 5 players together and then fight in that way. And they're going to have to do it right now. Earthshaker, Blink, not quick enough. J4 is going to get roared up and killed off. They trigger the Necro units as well. The BT's being used now so the Ember Spirit can come into the fight. The Big Num's away, and the rest of Power Rangers are happy to disengage. Another smoke game by GB, where all they find is the supports, so they push for more. They come in for Roshan.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those kind of ganks that you're going to see almost in every single game of Dota, which is the smoke into pick off, take Roshan. Particularly if you're on the Dire side, because not only is Roshan on your favor, it's on your side of the map, but also your smoke gank is going to lead into their jungle, which is naturally close to Roshan as well.
Power Rangers are too late for this one, but Tron's already committed himself. He runs in, still not triggering that. BKB takes so much damage before it. Laguna Blade will pop out, but the call-out positioning was perfect. Crystal Main will end up dying. The duel might trigger, but it's the Aegis Seymour that comes out at the end of it all. And Tron does not want anything to do with this, but he's going to go down anyway. The Spirit jump out by Madara catches up, and 13-7 Power Rangers. That was questionable to say the least, to jump in after Roshan went down, but I suppose when you're in that deep, you just got to dive.
I guess they were looking at it and going, if we don't take control of this game now, I mean, they do have superior team fight and everything else, and it actually looked really good. Like, the moment he got that Shell Grave and Gyrocopter was able to dish out so much damage, it was like, oh, man, Power Rangers are actually going to win this fight. I mean, it was still 3 for 3, plus they took away the Aegis. So it really wasn't that bad.
And they didn't use Echo Slam either. Like, Earthshaker never got his ulti off. I'm still surprised, though, like, when you start the fight like that, and you do have Gyro in so far, he refused to trigger the BKB until he was down to like 20% of his life.
Yeah,
he copped Scream, Sonic Wave as well. I think even Axis at that point.
Yeah, he definitely needed to pop it a bit sooner, but he's got his S and Y now. J4 is top lane.
Yeah, Legion Commander starts the duel, and Madarara is currently killing himself, but not fast enough for Cheshire Cat's liking. He'll end up going down with that Mystic Flare kicking in. So no Legion Commander for 50 seconds. She does have buyback. But they use the Fissure to hold the creep wave out. Doesn't really matter that much for now. But it slows the push a little bit. the wave clear of Power Range is actually really incredible. Because how is GB meant to get up? Like, you trigger your Necro units, but you're up against Slave, Lightstrike Arrays, Fissures, Overwhelming Odds, the Call Down, the Flat Cannon, the Rocket Barrage, the Shadow Wave. There's so much damage from PR where they can just clean up the wave if GB feel like they can push.
Yeah, it's not only spam against creep wave, right? But it's that sort of instant initiation that they have as well with 3 different blink daggers. So if you're out of position for a second,
Laguna Blade with the Echo Slam. Madara's going to drop. The Sonic Wave doesn't actually ensure the kill over on Chomi. Yulcept himself up as again this Gyrocopter has to be protected by the Shallow Grave, running away from these Necro units. He can't kill it or else he kills himself, and he knows it too. That's why the Shadow Wave heal does kick in. But Queen of Pain diving in underneath the tier 4 towers. It's fine because the ball is taking up some of it. The duel is back on again. Cheshire's Cat's going to find himself another one. Might even want to have the Crystal Maiden if possible. But it's just down to the Dazzle as well as this Legion Commander. And Keats is still pressuring the top. So you can press the attack and Big Gnome will be forced back. But Golden Boys, man, it feels like they're getting just the better positioning out at the start of these fights, even with that Echo Slam connection. But Power Rangers, it's not an even trade, but
yeah, a lot of that was
good.
What it was is Golden Boys had really great reactions to the jump. Because they responded with the Skyreth Mage, like, instantly silencing up the Lina when she blinked forward as well. So when she revealed her positioning with the Light Strike Array, boom, she gets silenced. Then she has to Yule Scepter herself, but she's already been hit by the Sonic Wave. And so did the Earthshaker. I mean, that was also great positioning from the Queen of Pain to blink forward aggressively and throw the Sonic Wave where it actually hits 2 different heroes. So essentially what should have been like a real quick, clean pickup, boom, we have the numbers advantage by killing the Ember Spirit, actually turns into a numbers advantage for Golden Boys because they get a 2-for-1, essentially. So I'm impressed with Golden Boys. I think that this is probably the best that they've looked so far. A little bit, of a shame that it's too late for them in the defense, but it does, bring some good signs for the future. I mean, Golden Boys, they used to be known as London Conspiracy. This team has been sort of remade with other Greek players, not all of them, but I believe most of them are still Greek. And it seemed like they suffered really badly as soon as they had that roster change. And even, a few weeks afterwards, it still looked really bad. But now you can kind of see the potential. I mean, there was some really fast reactions. That was high-level play, even if you look at this game and go, oh, it's not the highest level of teams. Just the play itself has been impressive.
Here they come. The Observer Ward gets taken out, but, of course, GB realize they come underneath the Obs Ward. And they do not want to be fighting that one. Just leave the minions to do their work. And Power Rangers, it almost feels like they should be forcing matters now. Like, yeah, their team fight may not be superior when they're fighting in positions like that tier 2 tower fight in the top lane. It felt like PR were trying to force the position as opposed to just work their way into it, which is what they were doing previously, where you just like the 4-5 man push into the lane, you get your early vision up with the Obs Ward, and you just go from there. But they're just looking too pressured really across the map.
Good choice by the Ember Spirit. He's going to be going for Lincoln's next in order to deal with the Yule Scepter, but it's particularly for the duel. The problem with that is you're still going to be locked down by the Earthshaker. This is why Ember Spirit has a really tough time against Earthshaker constantly, because it's all AoE and it's instant as well. You just blink, boom, Echo Slam, and you've got the Ember Spirit locked down for a good 5 seconds. So yes, the Lincolns will help, but he's still incredibly susceptible to the Earthshaker initiation.
Chomi's come down to the bottom lane. If you can't take out the Ember Spirit because of that Lincoln Sphere, just go for okay. What the hell just happened to that Queen of Pain? A Blink Echo Laguna?
That was J4 responding with just such quick reactions. The Queen of Pain threw out the Sonic Wave, but just before the Sonic Wave hit him, he blinked ahead of it, landed on top of the Queen of Pain, boom, instantly Echo Slam, locks her down before she can actually blink out. She was halfway, like, that's how late it was. She did her whole Sonic Wave animation and was turning and halfway through the blink animation when she got hit by that Echo Slam. That was just like picture-perfect timing by J4 to blink ahead of that Sonic Wave.
I apologize to everyone on the stream that didn't get to see that then, because it sounds wonderful. We can check the replay out later. For now, Big Num trying to solo up against Maybe, who did pop the ulti out, but the Glimmercave made it difficult, and J4 comes in with his freshly bought Yule Scepter. They want the duel again, and now there's 80+ damage over on this Legion Commander, and almost a fully completed BKB.
Yeah, J4 is a pretty happy camper right now. I mean, when he got ganked up earlier by that 5-man smoke, I know that feeling as an Earthshaker. You're just like, I don't even care, man. Who like, I've got a Blink Dagger. I'm halfway through my Yule Scepter, which was a great pickup, by the way. This is supposed to be for dealing with the Skywrath Mage Silence, but it also comes in really big handy against certain lockdown abilities like Frostbite. They're going to get pick off on Chomi here in the top lane, but that was just really a smoke initiation.
I was actually waiting for bottom lane to erupt with the 4 players there, but GB, in they come. J4. Well, he's got his Fissure available, and this will keep the creep wave out with the minions being chipped down a little bit. And actually, Yule Scepter's over on the Beastmaster, but J4 being steering chained up, he'll be able to walk himself out this. The axes don't reach. So J4 survives. His Necro unit's trying to have a crack at him, though, but it also will not be able to reach with that blink back.
Oh, Cheshire Cat, can you take down Kaiser in a 1-versus-1? Let's say, oh, okay.
No, we will
Doesn't even get the opportunity.
We will not find out.
I think he probably could, just because oh, never mind. I was going to say the Queen of Pain hasn't picked up any armor items, but she just got the plate mail. So she's going to be working towards Shiva's next. Wise decision.
And needs to actually stop PR from chasing off them the entire time too.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. It's not going to be Shiva's. It's going to be a Sulker. Yeah, it's going to be the right-click build.
They must also be really thinking about the problems of getting up into the high ground, because Ember Spirit's not going to be building into an Assault Cuirass. In fact, he just completed up his Chrysalis after getting the Lincoln Sphere. He does not want to have another defensive item, and we both get to be wrong. It is going to be a Shiva's Guard.
I really thought AC was the item because for exactly that reason, Toby, that you pointed out, is the fact that Ember Spirit is terrible at pushing uphill. Yeah. Like, he's so garbage at it. Like, he's a great high ground defender, but he's absolutely dog tier.
You could get the AC over on Skylark, and maybe that's where they look instead.
Yeah, maybe.
Because you still need to find the way. I actually
you still need Solar Crest and Blink Dagger, though.
Yeah.
And Boots of Travel. That's a lot of gold that Skylark needs in order to get an AC. So I really would have preferred AC on Queen of Pain. This would also allow you to go into the late game, I think, a little bit better. Building the right-click build for the Queen of Pain. But Shiva's is still good. The AoE control offered to it is particularly strong against Blink Initiators. And I think that's probably what Kaiser is going for here, is that when he jumps in, he gets that big AoE cone that not only takes down all the Blink Daggers in that AoE, but also gives him vision. And that's very key in a lot of these team fights. And I think it's a very underrated aspect of the Shivas, is that the vision that you get from it.
I hope it works for him, because right now I'm still seeing more and more items arriving for Power Rangers. Yes, you do get that Blink Dagger now up on the Beastmaster, but there's no buyback available, so if this fight goes poorly for them, the only person with a buyback currently is the Gyrocopter, and he's probably going to spend his money as well. Like, you're looking at another 100 gold away from having the full Monkey King bar up against GB. So the damage increase is going to start to rise up for the Gyrocopter. I still love what GB have going for them. Like, I'm not saying they're out of this game, but just seeing the combinations from PR working better and less, this can happen. It's the initiation up here. And where is everyone? You're still trying to fight without a Gyrocopter. The quick blinks away. J4 not wasting any time with that. Big Num's going to the trees with the Glimmer Cape, going to attempt his TP out. Searing Chain's 1 second, but it's too long. PR actually disengage, but maybe not fully. Kaiser throws out the Sonic Wave. The Yule Scepter from the Lina will protect her, and then she'll be able to blink herself into the trees, and then the TP out. The Scream will connect, and they'll realize she's in the trees, but she's already gone. The Mystic Flare burned as well. The Golden Boys are chasing shadows of PR.
That's what I'm talking about, Toby. I mean, you may not feel like you're looking at these teams, you're like, oh, they're kind of tier 2 teams, but the individual plays, I mean, they're just playing incredibly fast Dota. That was such a great reaction by them, both of them.
It's going to keep
blinking
going
away instantly.
Cheshire Cat sees the Ember Spirit moving in. You got the seal over on the Dazzle. Now they have to press the attack to get him out of this one. And then also with the Glimmer Cape starts up on the Weave. Courier, what are you delivering in the middle of this fight? It's the Arcade boost. Big Num TP out. It won't be successful, but he's got enough life to survive this. And that's why Madara's coming back over again. Started Fifth Searing Chain. Now Big Num. They try to press the attack him back out again, but it will not be possible. But Golden Boys, you're having that much difficulty killing off a Dazzle.
Oh, meanwhile, in the bottom lane, they're actually going to try and chase down the Gyrocopter with the Boots of Travel, but they're running into a trap!
J4 arrives, the big double stun. He triggers the Lincoln Sphere as well by using the Yule Scepter, which allows for the duel to happen. They break through the Aegis of the Immortal, and again, it's another Aegis without any kind of real reward for it. They need the reward. Gyrocopter, the side of Fit's going to miss. Choey getting himself an even deeper. He does not have his BTs up just yet. Cheshire Cat will TP out right underneath the Crystal Maiden as well as the Queen of Pain. Chomi's going to blink himself in deeper. Nope, he's actually just hiding so deep in the tree line that they cannot find him.
Yeah, honestly, like, where would he really go to go deeper at this point in time? He's already put himself, just hiding himself in the jungle. He knows there's a possibility that they throw out, like, Sleight of Fist into these trees, but we
It's a shame
obviously
for him
know.
they fixed the cliff area. I think you could actually get up on this cliff area during the first couple of days of Reborn.
All right, so we're going to have, looks like a Lotus Orb is going to be the next item being built by maybe next time. And this is particularly strong because it's really easy. Like, Lina telegraphs her combination pretty heavily, so you can Lotus Orb immediately before, like, the Light Strike Array hits, so she can't actually throw out a Laguna Blade unless she wants to hit herself. I don't think Duel does anything, obviously. Like,
it wouldn't.
Duel for Duel.
The only advantage
major.
you'd get would be you get bonus damage as well then. That should be the only other change.
But you get the bonus damage if you win the duel anyway, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, when you actually attack. Like, doesn't your damage increase?
No.
Oh, the bonus damage is 18. Yeah, you get bonus damage during the duel.
That's permanent. That's talking about the permanent damage when you win the duel, Toby.
I don't know, maybe I'm just remembering the mechanic wrong, which would not surprise me at all.
Whoa!
Yep, there's your Sonic Wave. Laguna Blade might have been thrown out, but Power Rangers lose 3 players very, very quickly. Sorry, yeah, my mechanic knowledge remembered you actually, like, gained more damage every attack during the duel, making you stronger during the duel. Maybe that was not Legion Commander, or, like, I'm just living in the past.
The only thing that could potentially happen, Lotus Orbing a duel, would be that whoever wins gets double the amount of damage. Because there's 2 duels going on, but I don't think that's the way it works. I'm pretty sure that one duel will just instantly cancel out the other.
Yeah.
So
would make sense.
But that would be pretty fun. The ultimate duel.
I'm walking away with a crap ton of damage.
For a grand total of 36 permanent damage.
If you duel someone that's dueled, like if you have like a Rubik or something like that, you steal all of the stolen damage from that one hero. That's imbalance. That's broken mechanics. That's my brain fart. Alright, so Tier 2 tower being worked out by GB. Suppose when you take out 3 heroes, you hope to actually get some level of like increase in the map control. And that's working nicely now. You are taking considerable damage to your Tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. And that's why Skylark is going to TP down there now. And he should be looking for his next item now. He's already got the Blink Dagger as well as having the Necro Book. We put Solar Crest as well as BTs on his wish list. Which one of these is a priority? And do you even look to just try and get something like the AC up instead, just because you feel like you may need to finish this game?
Boots of Travel is definitely the bigger, because I don't feel that Golden Boys need to end this game. I feel like they should just control the map as much as possible. That's what Beastmaster does incredibly well. And with the combination of Boots of Travels that they have between the Ember Spirit and the Beastmaster, when they spread out like this, they're not alone. No one is ever alone, because they could have 2 different cores TP into that area. Oh my god! All right, J4.
He just blind blink
Echo
Slam?
He just blind blink Echo Slam. That takes some cojones, Toby, to make that kind of play.
The Observer Ward lets him see a slither, but nothing real.
Yeah, I think maybe he saw the Ember Spirit going into that camp and was like, oh, he's definitely there. But then the Ember Spirit cleared through it so quickly. I mean, you got to give him to him, Toby. That takes some balls to make that kind of blind blink Echo Slam. Like, if that actually works against the Ember Spirit, then you call him a hero.
Yes, you do.
Right? When he whiffs it terribly, he looks like a fool. But go big or go home.
Okay, well done, J4. Show me. Gonna miss the Light Strike Array. They actually load us all over on the Crystal Maiden just in case this Lina wanted to force the issue any further. But looks like the rest of Power Rangers are grouping up on bottom lane. There's an easy Tier 2 tower for them to take. There's only 2 Tier 2s that remain on the map, and both of them, hilariously enough, belong to Golden Boys. And where are you going, GB? They're going to 3-man smoke up and move into the Radiant Jungle. But these pings came out from PR. Like, I think they know. That's why Tron's out. He's over in the tree line, and so is Big Num. They're trying to set up the traps. They put J4 at the back. They put Tron on the front lines. This man's walking around with a BKB Satanic. They are very happy with him being initiated on. Any Suns can just be instantly taken off by the press the attack. So there goes the Roar. BKB's already up, and now Cheshire Cat starts to duel over on the Beastmaster. J4 actually keeping Queen of Pain out by using that Eul Scepter. They'll pick up the Crystal Maiden as well inside the tree line. No, they can't. Now they will with Chomi arriving in. Laguna Blade's already been committed as 2 for 2, but they just keep on fighting. The Eul Scepter up. The Lotus Orb still is up, but okay. Legion Commander finishes the job when he comes back down again. And Golden Boys, that Queen of Pain is going to be spit and chip. She really needed to be there at the start, but the control from J4, great.
That was so close to being like a damn near perfect bait by Power Rangers. Putting the Gyrocopter on the front lines like that was a display of brilliance. They knew that he could take it up and everything, but the Dazzle, critical misplay there. Was not actually there in time for the Shallow Grave. He was sitting there, and Gyrocopter just got bursted a bit faster than he expected. Brilliant freezing field from the Crystal Main. That worked out really well to their favor, but still, the Gyrocopter should have been able to get a Shallow Grave from the Dazzle, and then he had the Satanic going on right towards the end there. So he would have been able to easily heal himself back up and would have survived, and that would have been a huge boon for Power Rangers. I mean, you just look at the Gold Swing by itself. It was kind of a 2 for 3 exchange, I think. Golden Boys still go up about 2,000 gold. Imagine if the Gyrocopter doesn't die there, and you're probably talking about a 3, maybe even 4K gold swing.
It's when the perfect plans just don't work for you. I still, though, like, I love what J4 did, even if you do lose the Gyrocopter. Got to keep that Queen of Pain out. Without that, they could have just lost everything, even with that initial bait.
Yeah.
But the Ember Spirit's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
He really is a problematic thing because the Beastmaster's allowing him to move freely across the map wherever the hell he wants because of the positioning of the Hawks. So PR, not only are they trying to deal with this team fight and try and set it up perfectly, but they're also having to worry about this Ember Spirit breaking behind their lines. They should also be very concerned about the next Roshan. Now, he's 20 seconds away from spawning up, and they can't allow... Like, yeah, they've managed to burn out the Aegis, the Immortal of Golden Boys, multiple times, but... they really can't let it happen again. Both Aegis and Cheese on GB, when these fights are already fairly even,
ooh,
they're going to smoke it.
Be big.
Look at the timing of it. The timing of it's actually perfect. If they can slip in with all 5, they can actually start Roshan themselves and take this out. The Weave will go to work, but Crystal Maiden scouted it out. She put down the Observer Ward and saw the edge of Weave being done. So the Sentry Wards are also down, but the Obs are up high as well as low. They can see the Beastmaster moving down for a split second. And now J4, that Sonic Wave, it spills in, only connects on the Urshik, however. And this BKB, it won't stop Laguna Blade damage with a cooldown. It actually managed to get the ulti out. It's Cheshire Cat locking in the Crystal Maiden. Another winner of a duel. Moves that damage over into Skylark and can jump back down even further towards the Queen of Pain. That's a little bit too late for the overwhelming odds. And the Defensive Spirit has to be popped by the Ember Spirit. They've already treated out of here. I'm back into Roshan now. Show me
next time?
Yeah, he's
so close.
Yeah, now Chomi's going to find him. A quick blink away by the Lena. He's worried about it, but now Madara, she jumped in! It's the die who ends up killing off, and he actually picked up the Aegis of the Immortal, stealing it from Power Rangers. There's no duel, so he'll just spirit himself away. Burns the Aegis, takes the Roshan, and denies Power Rangers the bigger advantage. They do, however, still get Cheese over on Tron.
Yeah, they may have just... he might have just single-handedly kept the game still within Golden Boy's grasp, because I think if they have that Aegis and the Cheese as well, especially like on Cheese on Legion Commander, she just jumps in, duels, knowing that she's going to be able to kill that one hero, and then as soon as the duel is done, she'll eat the Cheese. No matter how many people are targeting her, she probably gets a free pickoff, sort of like a Storm Spirit would jump in and just secure the 5 versus 4 advantage. And then they have the Gyrocopter to go uphill with the Aegis as well. I think that very easily could have been Power Rangers securing themselves a lane's worth of Raxes, but because he managed to make that clutch play and deny essentially the Aegis away from Power Rangers, that will keep PR playing defensively and keep them farming.
And the longer you farm up, the bigger the Ember Spirit is capable of getting. I'm wondering where he goes now. Is this going to be the second Daedalus, or is this when you just go into a Monkey King Paw, predicting the Butterfly is going to be next for the Gyro? It's either that or you just have like the biggest balls in the world and you're going for a Rapier. But I don't know if this is like a full Rapier game for Madara.
I would say MKB right now is definitely the safest option.
It's just what he decides to go for. J4 He's running in right now for that bottom tier 2 tower. Bignum's in the neighborhood, and the BKB's already used up by this Queen of Pain. You'll Scepter up from J4. He just tanks through most of Mystic Flare. Bignum will not be so lucky. As yet the Queen of Pain on the back of him, and J4 blinks into the pit, and will be able to TP out in time.
Oh!
Side of Fist Searing Chain.
He did it. He did the combo, too.
It just wasn't quick enough.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's possible. Because I'm sure there's a slight animation to chains.
Well, you gotta start the chains at, like, you could actually hit the Sleight of Fist, but then you gotta hit your chains after that.
Yeah.
So there would be a delay before the chains would connect.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he did the combo correctly, but it was just such a minor. Oh, top lane, they're gonna go for Cheshire Cat. This is the Boots of Travel combo that we're talking about.
Cheshire Cat, though, can press the attack back out. He starts the duel, and he's got the help from the Lina. They ensure the duel victory. Cheshire Cat, man, he's got 152 bonus damage just from his duel. They look for more as Ember Spirit, who put a defensive spirit, now it's now an aggressive spirit on the lines, and Cheshire Cat's pushing for further. He's got this Heaven's Halberd, so hitting every single time is really difficult. It actually has to be a Monkey King bar. He's got no other choice. Or else you'll never win any duel ever. But they're coming out. Blink forward. That's, well, no BKB triggered by the Queen of Pain just yet. Comes a full Rocket Barrage. Now trying to go to BKB himself up and let that call down go. The Lotus Orb is there from the Queen of Pain. She Sonic Waves forward, but can't actually get the connection. There's the Blink Dagger from the Earthshaker into the trees. The screen can't even reach him. They change actually up a lot further. It's Kaiser into the tree line. Ember Spirit will survive with his little Spirit Jumper. They finally bring down that Gyro. Not an easy target to claim.
Yeah, certainly, especially since he had Cheese and Satanic. He prolonged his life for so long because of that, but...
Cheshire hasn't left.
Yeah,
he wants to fight.
Wants it.
And here comes the Blink. They need the duel. They need the duel. They get the Life Strike Array, and that'll do the work. When he came back to Spirit, it'll end up getting the kill. And with a Fiery Spirit bonus damage right now from the Lina, it's not enough. Can't reach into the Crystal Maiden. The BKB protection is all he's got. Legion Commander, the same kind of thing. They both try and TP out the Sonic Wave. You had to choose who you're going to kill. In this case, Kaiser chose Chummy.
Yeah, wise choice, especially since the Legion Commander is tanky enough at this point that she would have lived anyway through that pure damage. So, pick off on the Lina kind of evens things out for the Ember Spirit dying. Still pretty concerned about the Ember Spirit dying. He's got his full, six slotted item, essentially. You don't really go anywhere from here as an Ember Spirit because every single item is valuable to you.
Jump forward from Kaiser. He's up to Cheshire Cat, putting that fresh Scythe of Vice to work. The Blade Man will still kick up, but the problem is for Cheshire Cat, he just cannot press the attack himself out of this. So you've just lost your Legion Commander. Buyback might be available, but you just lost your Dazzle as well. Skylark gets the solo kill in the mid. And now, I think our Earthshaker has just gone gaga. J4 has just scribbled all across the map, going, what the crap, boys, is going on here?
J4 is going to have to pull out some seriously good plays with only him and the Gyrocopter to defend, but it's possible. Well, he could have jumped Kaiser right there, and I think it would have been a combo that killed him, but...
There goes your Fissure. The creep wave. It's going to be difficult to actually mop up the melee racks. At least they can delay up Kaiser 16 seconds until you get the Lina back up, and that'll be enough respect, at least, for Golden Boys to back out. But they've already used fortification.
Yeah, they have the Ember Spirit that's going to Boots of Travel in. This is going to be Golden Boys at a full 5-man.
You got to buy back from the Legion too. So PR do have the strength to repel this, and Golden Boy should be careful about it. You jump forward with Madara, he'll jump back out again. The Flag Cannon takes care of the creep wave, and maybe next time, way too close in, they trigger the BKB from the Lina, and this will ensure the kill over on that Skywrath Mage. The Hex still controls the Gyro, but now Madara, he goes in again, and then Defensive Spirit jumps back out, ensures the kill on the melee racks.
But they kept the buyback on the Legion Commander alive. I think, all things considered, Power Rangers are going to be pretty happy with the way that went. If I was looking at that situation 30 seconds ago, I would have said the Golden Boys should have been able to take the full lane of racks before the Dazzle was up. But they did a really good job of just keeping Golden Boys in fear constantly. And
Legion Commander not only just got 1.1k gold from that kill, but continues to win duels, up to 188 bonus damage right now on Cheshire Cat. And was he by? He's actually going for the Assault Cuirass build.
Yeah. I think at a certain point he has enough damage, and maybe he should consider perhaps a little bit more utility. For example, I really would not mind the upgraded Boots of Travel on him.
Oh, Madara, tell me you got a Spirit. Yeah, he does.
Because then you can combo with the Lina, right? When the Lina goes off and like tries to get a pick off on somebody, you can TP directly onto her.
True.
So when she does do her blink light strike array real quick combo, you can be a part of that. But obviously the AC is a bit more valuable right now, particularly against the Ember Spirit. You want those armor items.
Cheapy are really trying to stop themselves from having to use this buyback. Queen of Pain is getting pretty close towards having that refresh orb. And Tron! Too much damage, but now the BKB, he already triggered the Satanic, so there's not a lot of life that came back during this period, and Queen of Pain does buy back. The Echo Slam is controlling over on that Ember Spirit. They've already managed to bring down 2. The Crystal Maiden may have died, but Cheshire Cat, where's this run away? He won't get out. There's too much damage coming up right behind him. Madara will pick up the double kill as this Ember. And Power Rangers are forced back to defend. They've just lost their range ranks as well because the melee creeps are just pushing it through. Now, there are buybacks from Power Rangers, so they shouldn't lose another lane of ranks here. But Golden Boys definitely want to force that money burn.
Oh, certainly, yeah, especially since Kaiser used his buyback. They want to even things out a bit. And it looks like Kaiser's actually going to be going for a refresher here. So double ultimates. You're talking also a 10-second BKB in a way. Double Shiva's, double Scythe of Ice. That's going to be particularly powerful against the Gyrocopter, who's so dependent on getting off his BKB Satanic combination. He's already having a hard time getting kited around and not being able to find a target for his Satanic. You double down on that essentially with heavy disables on the Queen of Pain. If you're getting kited and
they jump
stunned,
in. They go on Chomi, the perfect Yule Scepter timing. However, the BKB Queen of Pain is still waiting here for the Sonic Wave. Misses over on Chomi, however, and J4, the jump out, actually getting that little extra hit to kill off the Skywrath Mage. Cheshire Cat still needs to keep up, however. No Blink Dagger available for him. And in fact, they've just run the wrong direction. The BTs are coming down the bottom lane, so Golden Boys can defend this quite easily. But the top lane from Power Rangers, someone has to come back.
Oh no, they're going to be pretty disappointed. They're going straight into the Roshan pit, and it would be an early Roshan if it was up right now.
They have to wait a minute.
Yeah, but the sad thing is, they're going to see it's not there and know that it could be another like full 2.5 minutes until it's up and back out. They're not going to wait inside the Roshan pit for it, hoping that it'll spawn.
Yeah, it's too much. They have to get themselves out of here. At the same time, J4... he can still cause a large amount of problems. He just picked up a full Shiva's Guard. Now on this Earthshaker. We've hit the point where PR are still running 4 cores. And maybe that's where we should be looking. Actually, no, because Skywrath Mage's got so much farm as well. He's got so much to work with. Echo Slam, they initiate on Madara. J4 might be in a little bit of trouble, but support's going to come in from Tron. It's a little bit too late. They've already lost their Earthshaker. Madara, no defensive spirits. They triggered the Lincoln Sphere. The duel, it already was actually, that looks like what has triggered the Lincoln Sphere. Tron Glimmer came up, and now he gets a Satanic off with a flat cannon damage. The Crystal Maiden gets a full duration channel off, and they just keep on diving in. The Light Strike Array keeps Queen of Pain out, and the physical damage, Kaiser's able to blink himself away in time. The control from the CM is not going to be enough. The gem is lost as well. And Golden Boys are not only on the rampage chasing out these heroes, but they'll have Roshan if they want it. The Hawk will move in to scout it out, and yeah, they'll realize this. They can take Roshan. There's nothing Power Rangers can do to stop them.
I told you, Toby, this is through and through Golden Boy's comfort hero, Ember Spirit. Madara is playing this beautifully. I mean, even towards the end of that one, a little bit of mistake there from the Legion Command. Well, actually, I'm not even going to call it a mistake, because what else could he really... Oh, he has Halberd. So maybe it was a mistake by him, but he accidentally dueled into the Lincolns.
Yeah.
But still, even after that, like, the Madara played it beautifully, had the right times where he used the Sleight of Fist in order to juke, essentially, the Legion Commander. She was kind of sitting there going, I only need one more hit, but it takes me so long to get that hit while I'm waiting for you to Sleight of Fist that she ended up dying before she could really get there. Madara, I think, has been just playing this Ember Spirit expertly. If you watch the way he does it, it's because he's always looking for space, right? He's always sitting back, and this is really the reason why Blink Dagger is so essential on an Ember Spirit. He's trading that off for an Aegis now, because they know this is going to be kind of essential for him pushing uphill. He can't play the mobility game nearly as well when you're trying to push for an objective.
It's also because he sold his Blink Dagger. He picked up a second Daedalus. It's all about the extra damage coming in. So once this Aegis Immortal burns, they'll deliver it. Actually, the Courier's got it all the way back at base, which is not really the dream. But this tier 3 tower, actually, are they They're being stalled up enough. Whoa, Chummy, that's a long way out. Laguna plays on the Beastmaster, almost enough damage, especially when J4, he can't connect on the Echo Slam. They get the duel over on Kaiser. Is the damage going to be enough? Cheshire Cat's burning up, but they do have enough damage. They get through her, and the Fissure as well. Crystal Maiden's BKB will allow to get a full duration off. Tron turns around, realizes, why am I TPing? Well, okay, it's going to be a Satanic to do the work, to give his life back, and Golden Boy's kept out. They lost their Queen of Pain, and that's a big blow. Like, you've still only taken one lane of Rax, and that cops out for a minute and a half.
Yeah, and let's not forget the Legion Commander is getting stronger and stronger. 224 damage now.
Yep. Like, this is actually when you ask the question, like, how much damage? Like, you're almost at a, like, we're not at a rapier just yet, but you're inching yourself towards it, where you can basically give her another 6,000 net worth.
It's pretty insane. Gyrocopter desperately needs to finish up that butterfly right now because he's getting kited just a bit too much. One very important thing, I gotta give a shout out. It's tough to play supports this late in the
Madara.
game.
Madara, he snipes a courier and then gets out.
Yeah. Skanks has been playing this Crystal Main so damn well. He's gotten multiple really good freezing fields, but his frostbites, every single time his frostbites have been on point. He's been waiting for the Gyrocopter to use Satanic, and then he uses frostbite. So essentially the Gyrocopter is sitting there going, you know, I have this lifesteal, I can do so much damage, and I can heal up so much if I just get to right-click somebody, but he's always frostbitten through that duration. It only lasts 4 seconds. Frostbite is a 3-second stun, so the majority of that lifesteal is taken away from him every single time.
He needs space to do it then. But how do you do that?
They need to open a better initiation for him. That's the biggest problem right now. Because
I would ask the question then, is that on the hands of J4? Because every time J4 has jumped in, it's been this 1 or 2 man Echo Slams. But you could also say that's a good thing for Golden Boys because they're not giving him the space to do so.
I would say it's not on J4 to make the initiation. It's going to be the single target initiation first. So Legion Commander or Lina needs to find that opening first. J4 is only going to initiate if it's an Ember Spirit. That's the only time he will jump a hero first rather than waiting for the counter initiation moment, is if he thinks he can blow up the Ember Spirit through his AoE stuns, where the single target stuns of the Legion Commander obviously aren't going to do enough for you.
You got your wish now for Madara. Second level BT's now being completed. He's dropped the Blink Dagger as well, and is holding on to that Daedalus for himself. So we're basically looking at a full 6-slotted Ember Spirit now. There's nothing much more he can buy. Blink, duel starts over right now on Kaiser. They get the kill. Follow-up into next time. Maybe they have enough for it. J4 protects himself inside the Eul Scepter. They have to bring down this Crystal Maiden. They get another big freezing field. Finally getting set up by the Monkey King bar. And Madara, there's nothing he can do. The rest of his teammates are already dead. They could just start the split push. Skylark's already up there. But the ping's coming out from Power Rangers. They want to go for the mid, but the Ember Spirit's keeping him at bay. He's actually buying them space. J4's come back to defend, though, so this push can't come from Power Rangers just yet.
Yeah, that's actually one of the more annoying things, is that when an Ember Spirit is given, like, they're sitting in the middle lane and they're going, all right, we just run down into middle, but every single time you're going to be slighted or fisted as you get closer and closer to the base, and heroes that do not have sustain won't be able to keep up and go uphill. Really, the only heroes that can keep going is the Legion Commander and the Gyrocopter, and that's obviously not enough. They need their support behind them. So yes, They won the fight, and they won it on Golden Boy's side of the base, but the Ember Spirit survives, and that's truly the biggest problem.
Man, this just seems to be the way all defense matches work on our first series. We have to run into a long, long game. 62 minutes in length for Power Rangers versus GB. There's still so much on the line here for Power Rangers. They need to get themselves at least a 1-game advantage so they can get themselves into the next round of the defense. If they don't achieve that, then there is a chance for them to be dethroned from that top 3 position, and it'll be Stark who will move forward.
Yeah, Power Rangers, they don't want to risk this on, like, Monkey Business having a bad day and Stark being able to 2-0 Monkey Business, which would be pretty absurd, but it could happen. So Power Rangers desperately need to be able to win both of these games to kind of ensure, at the very least, they get into a tiebreaker, if not get into the next round.
And so bring it on. The Assault Cuirass is done for the Legion Commander. The full Skadi is up for the Gyrocopter, so he's got a little bit more strength to work with now. This Ember Spirit is still ripping so much damage at the moment. And the Queen of Pain, also 6-slotted. The only thing she needs now is her upgraded BTs, but she's got a Refresher Orb to boot, so you got double BKBs, double Scythe, double Sonic Waves. It's everything you really want from her. what do you need else from the Beastmaster? Maybe he should actually be looking at his BTs, but would sacrifice his buyback right now in order to get it.
You know it's late into the game when supports are getting their ARCADE Scepter. Skywrath Mage is about to get his Axe. I mean, his Axe really isn't as valuable as many others.
He
you want utility items.
He doesn't have a mana pool to support his
Axe.
Axe.
Yeah, exactly, which is why you rarely see it. But when it's like his, fourth big ticket item,
yep.
Yeah, he can go ahead and get it. Kaiser, meanwhile, he's completely six slotted. I don't even know what you start changing up from here.
I'm actually surprised they didn't just get something like a Lincoln Sphere over on the Skywrath Mage, so we can put that onto the Queen of Pain. They could have more shields. Like that would have been the way I would go, as opposed to just getting like the 0 cooldown on your Mystic Flares.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I think. Also being able to potentially double down the Lincolns. If you're really fast, you can have the Lincolns on the Ember Spirit. As soon as it goes off, you Lincolns him.
Yep.
Right? So if the Legion Commander jumps in and she's like Halberd to pop the Lincolns, and then she tries to duel, boom, the duel doesn't go. Ember Spirit's able to jump back.
You could double stack it, though. You could double stack it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right as well. He can apply the active, and then there's a passive as well. So
yeah, you just would have to try and stack it on the Queen of Pain if you're trying to protect her. But for the Ember Spirit, you could just apply Lincolns on top.
Yeah, you're right. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, Bubble Shield. Now, Power Rangers moving in. There is an Ember Spirit over here, and this is his defensive Spirit, but they've got a great position because this Hawk is up. So the smoke is going to break, and it's over on Tron. They move over, and already the Echo Slam from J4! He didn't blink for it! Skylark able to control big number of the backlines too, so there'll be no Shallow Grave for this fight. This is a disaster right now for Power Rangers. The Sonic Wave will fly, actually does minimal damage to almost no damage. You've still lost 3. The Cross Maiden will jump over, needs more control. It'll be over on the Lena, and this is an absolute, well, it's a debacle for Power Rangers. They lost absolutely everything apart from the Gyrocopter, and all they got was a Beastmaster who bought back. GB will be coming to win this game if they can do so now. Running towards the mid. There's no buyback for the Legion Commander. You've got no Echo Slam. At least you do have that Satanic off cooldown now for the Gyrocopter as he flat cannons to keep these creep waves out of the base.
Oh, but they got to be so careful. They can't afford to make small mistakes like that, grouping up.
Kaiser's in. Where's that Hex? It's already done. Charming just getting ripped apart. The Crystal Maiden with a basic attack, and Nova is able to help complete the Lena's death. And I think this is actually game. GB will come in. They will take the tier 4 towers. It took them over an hour to do it, but they have crippled PR to a point where they cannot defend their base anymore.
Very well played by Golden Boys. I mean, they may try and suicide the Gyrocopter at GB, or may even try and go for a Mega Creeps push, but the chance of that being successful is so very minimal. So you could practically call the game from here. Golden Boys, though, you can see the way that Vision just tells everything about the game. It's why certain heroes are so valued right now. Clockwork, I think, is one of those heroes that, yeah, he comes online really early. He's a great ganker, but the vision from his rocket is so key. And you could see why, heroes like Beastmaster are also going to be valued for the exact same reason. That Hawk essentially won Golden Boys the game.
Yep. What's the perfect position for it? Gyrocopter. Okay. This is balls to the wall. I don't know if he can get this rapier back to himself in time. It's flying in on the courier. Cheshire Cat now going for his own BKB. The Sonic Wave Tron. He may die before he gets his weapon. And in fact, yep, there's your rapier. But the Shallow Grave, it can't keep him up for long. Turns on the Satanic. How much life steals Tron? He turns up the heat. He brings down 2. Back to full life. You still got maybe next time here, but he'll die this time. Triple kill coming their way. Kaiser, careful, son. He wants to kill off Cheshire Cat, but Tron's coming back in. Flat cannon back off cooldown. Madara trying to run himself away. The Scotty controls him. Kaiser, do they have enough? Tron, he's still fighting his ass off. There's a rampage. Tron holds him out. Kaiser's in huge trouble. The blink away. Oh, 44 life. The throne has to be defended. Down to 750. They flat cannon down the rest of it. The rapier. I can't believe he actually survived through that. The Shallow Grave barely having enough time to get the first hit off. Satanic, eat your heart out, son.
Oh, man. I mean, they're still stuck in a situation. They're up against Mega Creeps. Golden Boys, they don't have to blow any buybacks from here on out. But the problem is they already blew enough buybacks that they could actually just lose this game because they tried to finish it in such a swift throughout. I don't know.
You have 60 seconds until you have got 3 players back up again. Tron has already proved he can go. Where is he going for more? Is he? Yeah! Oh, the balls on this guy! A double rapier build now. He's not going up against any evasion, so there's no real bad downside about losing your Monkey
King. They're gonna go over top lane. Cheshire Cat's gonna get picked off. They can't afford to lose a hero
Legion
here.
Needs to stay up, but she's dead. But the push is coming. I think Tron is just going to try and be more of a man than anybody else. 2 minutes without the Legion commander. They don't have fortification. The fortress might be regenerating up, but where are you going to go,
oh my
Tron?
God. Is he actually going for Roshan right now? What?
No.
There's no way.
Makes no sense whatsoever. They have to come back to defense. I think they realize now, like, it would be nice if they could kill off Roshan because it would deny the Aegis Immortal GB. That's how they can help finish the game.
Yeah. Yeah, Golden Boys at this point in time are just going to sit back, control the map, get Roshan, put it on their Ember Spirit because he doesn't have buyback, and they'll still be happy. The problem is still going to be that the Gyrocopter, it's a problem that's been there the whole entire game, is that you're going to be kited around by this Ember Spirit, and you're going to have your HP chipped away. Like, yeah, if the whole entire Golden Boys tries and man fights you, yeah, you'll cream their ass, and that's exactly what you saw in that last fight, right? But the problem is that 9 times out of 10, when Golden Boys go into these fights, they're playing it very elusively. They're going back and forth, in and out, controlling the Gyrocopter. I mean, you saw when he first initially almost died in that fight, it was because the Queen of Pain was able to jump in and double Scythe of Ice and double Sonic Wave him.
It's... All right, Tron. Moment of truth. Golden Boys have arrived on your door. Can you defend this one? J4's out a long, long way, and he's looking over at Madara. Triggers and Lincoln's Sphere to start with. It's just the Yule set being used. Lincoln's will be back off cooldown. Before that time, the wave pushing in through the bottom is quite heavy, and that's what J4's looking for. Skylark Madara actually controls him up. Where is this from Tron? He's down!
No!
There goes your double rapiers. They're on the deck, and that is the game. GG. Power Rangers may have had a glimmer of hope right now, but transformation failed. The piece was missing, and that is going to be Golden Boys taking game number 1 of this 2-game series of PR up against GB.
Oh, man. Power Rangers had a chance, too. Better safe than sorry is the rule when it comes to Dazzle, Shallow Grave, late game. Big Num, instead of using Shallow Grave, he used the heal and then got Scythe of Ice by the Queen of Pain, so he couldn't actually get out the Shallow Grave. If he just Shallow Graved instead, who knows what would have happened, because Golden Boys, for whatever reason, were fully committing there. Despite the fact that they didn't have buybacks, they had Roshan available. They could have just eased their opening in, but instead they're like, no, let's YOLO in, let's smoke in, and that was all in. Like, if they lose some of those heroes, that could be the end of the game because they don't have buybacks. But Power Rangers, I mean, you can't really blame Big Num too much. It was insane that the game went that long as it was. Golden Boys still demonstrated that they're not a team to be laughed at. I mean, despite the fact that they ended up as, pretty much at the bottom of their group, they do show towards the tail end of the defense here that they can be better, essentially, than what we've seen.
And that's been the spirit of Golden Boys. Back also when the Non-Islamic Conspiracy, they just fought all the way to the end. They don't give up. They don't care if this game for them is a dead rubber. What they're looking for is the ability to prove themselves. That's what tournaments like the defense is all about. They proved themselves in game number 1. Can they do it in game number 2 and cause real troubles for Power Rangers? We could actually be looking at ourselves having a tiebreaker if both games go 0-2 against the teams who are fighting for the upper part of the bracket. Well, stay tuned. We're going to find out what happens. We'll be back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to your coverage of the defense. As I am Toby1, this is Mon Capitalist, as well as game number 2.
Yeah, we had a very long game number 1, over 70 minutes long. And we just got to drop some stats, Toby.
Do it, man, because I still have trouble believing this stat.
Just imagine, guys, that I all of a sudden have a full head of bright grayish whitish hair, and I've aged about another 15 years, and I'm Statman Haas. That was the second most amount of hero damage that the Crystal Main has ever done. Big shout out to Skanks, only to be outdone by FY God, who, by the way, the match where he actually did 680 more damage than Skanks did last game was done in only a game time of 48 minutes, and he lost. I don't know how absurd that is, that FY could do that much damage and still lose the game, but yeah.
It's ridiculous. I don't know how it was possible. Up against Newbie, I suppose anything back then was possible, but in our game now, it's a fresh slate. It's Power Rangers versus Golden Boys. PR desperate for a victory here, or else their fate will be decided by the next series coming up. Currently, It already is, because they don't go 2-0. They don't guarantee themselves the tiebreaker. They could be eliminated from the defense based on that result in Game 1. But they're going to start with Lucifer himself.
Yeah, I think if Power Rangers had got a 2-0 against Golden Boys, they all would have but assured that they move on to the next phase, because I think it's very unlikely that Stark win 2-0 against Monkey Business. I do think they can pull out a 1-1, though. So Power Rangers really do need this win, because I wouldn't be surprised if later on tonight Stark do take a single win up against Monkey Business, and then are able to skate their way into phase number 2 without a tiebreaker.
And if they are able to do so, upset of the tournament.
Yeah, that definitely would be. Doom, first pick for Power Rangers, though, that was banned out in the second phase last time. I don't value Doom as first pick. I really don't. I do think he's strong enough to maybe warrant a second, definitely a 3-4 pickup. But first pick Doom is a little bit awkward. Then again, it also doesn't reveal that much, I feel, because, I mean, the classic thing about Doom is he's a counter to everyone, right? So it's not like you're like, oh, we can't draft X hero now because Doom or something like that. The biggest thing is that you know that the Doom is going to be, or at least you should know that the Doom is off lane. We haven't seen any safe lane Dooms just yet.
It's always been off lane.
I don't think we've seen a 4-position Doom either.
I was actually wondering that, because that was where my thought kind of went when you said, well, Doom brings on a first pick. Like, normally the first pick which you get is the one that opens up your laning phase. So you can go, you know what, I can run this guy jungle, I can run this guy mid, or I can run this guy off lane. The Doombringer doesn't really provide that, but it makes a lot more sense when you see the second pick up here from Power Rangers. Lich actually got a couple of buffs which really give control in the lane, where he doesn't share his experience anymore with the enemy. So it doesn't matter where your lane is going to be positioned. He can keep the lane back. Then Doom's got Devourer as well, and they can make the most out of this off lane, because Lich can get his second point up. I don't want to actually see his second point up in Ice Armor unless they're having a real hard time. But he can make up for what Doom lacks early on if he doesn't get himself a good creep aura. And that is the fact that Doom has shite all armor.
Yeah, it's pretty garbage.
Yeah, it's 0. Like garbage is nothing. It's not even garbage. It's before its waste.
Yeah, garbage is at least something. If you open up the garbage can, there's nothing in there, nothing at all. So the Lich will definitely help out in that regard. And let's not forget that the Lich armor was buffed up. I believe it was like 2-3 patches ago, where it now applies to range heroes as well via slow. So it just means that the ice armor is a lot more prolific than it used to be. That being said, Golden Boys, I mean, they open with Gyrocopter Beastmaster. I feel that's a very safe opening, given how well they played last game with their Beastmaster. I think they'll be pretty happy.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be any real problem with Golden Boys with their draft. The only issue they might be having is the fact that they do make this very obvious for what they're going to be doing, like laning-wise. And I'm wondering, too, of Power Rangers, like we've been talking about like off-lane Doombringer. What can the Beastmaster do if he's up against a Lich and Doom as a dual safe lane? And then you get something else up from Power Rangers where they think they can get up into the face of Gyrocopter. Like the Dazzle was banned out. I don't know if they're thinking about anything else up there. Like, you get away with like a Wisp Bristleback or something like that. Like, you can mix up your lanes. Like, Power Rangers aren't just limited to this off-laner. If they feel they can lock down the Beastmaster.
I feel like the Rubik or Crystal Main wouldn't be a bad pickup here. Crystal Main's still really valuable with Beastmaster as well as Gyrocopter. I think that was one of the big advantages that they had as an offlaner. Beastmaster was able to spam out the boars, which he can without that Crystal Main aura, but he can spam out a lot more wild axes if he has that aura available to him. So I think that was something that was pretty valuable. Plus the rotations that occurred. I mean, it was just a solid hero for Skanks. But once again, this is the same exact way the Golden Boys opened up. All 3 cores. I cannot believe. I mean, I was looking. I didn't even have in my mind that they were going to pick up a core because I'm looking at them going, all right, you're going to grab a support that doesn't really mean a whole lot to the enemy team, but no, they just like, here's our full strategy. They're going to go a mid lane dominator that does a lot of physical damage, backed up by the Beastmaster who does, you know, good amount of physical damage plus lockdown, and the Gyrocopter who comes online relatively early. This is Golden Boys looking at 35-minute ultra team fight lockdown essentially. They, especially on the Dire side, they should allow them to be able to take on some, you know, especially that second or third Roshan rather easily.
It's just really, it's so dangerous, especially when you're picking first, because now Power Rangers have the next 3 pickups to counter up these cores. You understand maneuverability is going to be a real problem, hence Witch Doctor actually now fits in perfectly, where you've got survivability during that early 30 to 35-minute team fight. You're talking about Paralyzing Cask and Death Wall is going to make it really difficult for these heroes to move forward. Then you've got Chain Frost as well. Power Rangers are very intimidating if you walk into them.
I feel like picking up, like, it's to the opposite side of the spectrum that I feel like Power Rangers should have held on to their other support because they have already shown the Lich.
So you would prefer to actually, like, get the core matchup now?
Yeah, I would have preferred, because you know all 3 cores, you can actually reveal a core without giving away too much information. I feel like you locking down your 2 supports does say a lot about your draft from here. Golden Boys are going to be looking for dual lanes. They probably were already with the Lich pickup. Lich is best run in a dual lane setup. But if they had grabbed, say, their mid-matchup hero against the Razor right now, they'd still be able to keep their safe lane completely open, and Golden Boys wouldn't know whether or not they would be able to contest with, because they can right now. Golden Boys can run a Gyrocopter +2 against a Witch Doctor and whatever is run as the carry from Power Rangers, and they can win that matchup.
Yeah. Man, they definitely can. Like, I've been a big believer in Tuskar. Like, I love him with the hero which is banned out, which is Lena. When you're able to have any kind of AoE stun after Tuskar snowballs in, it's that instant control kind of factor you get, and then it's the burst damage you get. It's Walrus Punch plus some with level 6 like push of damage. Laguna Blade's one of them. You could try and go in for something more like, I don't even want to say like a Lion in this game, because I'm still trying to think about supports which is able to tank through both what the Witch Doctor and the Lich offer. You know what I'd actually love to see in this game?
What's that?
Which would be, I'd actually really love to see a techies in this game. The Power Rangers guys don't really have great stuff against him. The early snowball into ulti combo, you can just run these guys as duels and they just make a lot of space. Yeah. And the Doombringer has no armor, so he kind of works crap against it. But yeah, he got nerfed so hard that he doesn't really fit.
Yeah, it's specifically the Mines combination. The Mine nerf wasn't, I would say, that big of a nerf until you look at the Tusk Techies combo, which requires you to throw down a mine.
And suicide.
Yeah, when you throw down the mine after the snowball, like now you've just halved that damage, so it is a pretty big loss.
Yeah, you basically have to go into like suicide at level 3. You got to put it into 2 to still be effective with that combo. And Spectre is the final ban out. They're really worried about that carry that's going to carry all the way through the game. The Doombringer is already a big problem anyway. And they should take out the Bane. Power Rangers remove the Bane.
I think they're looking to run dual lanes themselves, actually. Beastmaster Tusk could actually be a double melee offlane, and they could rotate the Tusk out at like level 2 and put pressure on the middle lane, especially because it's a Leshrac. You don't want to give any room to Leshrac whatsoever, and Leshrac can beat Razor. There was the drop in damage as well as the jump distance on the Lightning Storm that does hurt Leshrac mid by quite a bit, but the big advantage is still that Leshrac can throw out lightning bolts and doesn't actually have to click on the Razor specifically, meaning there's no damage or slow that he takes from that unstable current. The Visage, though, I love Golden Boys. This pickup makes a lot of sense to me. It combines really well with Beastmaster. It also has a lot of synergy. You look at Golden Boys, and they've got a lot of physical damage. Walrus Punch, Visage Familiars, Razor, minus armor and physical damage. Beastmaster has Wild Axes, increases attack speed, and does a decent amount, usually with his Necronomicon. And then Gyrocopter is obviously a bit of composite damage as well. So
it also gives you that aggression early on. Like if you're talking about Golden Boys, if they do want to try and go for this aggro, you have then Soul Assumption. You got ways to ensure kills in the early stages, which until now you didn't. Like it's maybe Plaza Field, maybe Axes with slow chipping away from boards, flat cannon, and that's not even gonna be enough. It's like the Rocket Barrage, but that's not gonna be enough unless you get yourself in range. And Visage gives you the enablers. He gives you both a slow as well as a nuke to work with. So yeah, I am liking Golden Boy's lineup. I'm just interested to see how they can execute it on the lane, because the Lich and the Doom will hold that lane back.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough. I'm not sure if their tri-lane can actually beat, and Power Rangers, that's an interesting one. They really needed something that would come online early. I was like throwing up in the air. I was like, is Juggernaut work here? I was like, I don't like him versus Beastmaster or Razor. I was looking like, okay, what about an early game hero like Slard or Sven that would come online? It's like, you still kind of have some issues with Razor, who's particularly potent. Same goes with the Visage. He's actually very tanky with his Gravekeeper's Cloak against those kind of initiations. This control that is offered by the Faceless Void works really well with the Lich and the Witch Doctor supports, but it's not going to come online for some time. Like, you need your supports to have your level 6. You need Leshrac to do very well in his middle lane as well. Our Power Rangers got really greedy with this, and I feel like they're going to be punished by Golden Boy's early aggression.
I want to ask, like, do Visage Familiars penetrate? Like, their stuns penetrate the Chrono, right? Like, if you got Chrono up and the Familiars fly over the top of it and then they drop.
The Familiars will be frozen by Chronosphere, but if you click the stun before the Chronosphere hits,
then the stun will still go.
They will complete their stun. I believe that's how that works.
Here's the run for the first wards, and maybe next time, not this time, to get the Observe ward. He'll still push Cheshire Cat back out because Cheshire Cat's got like nothing but health consumables as well as an Observer ward, so he can't do jack here.
Yeah, sorry.
After you end up dying.
I forgot I took off my mic to cough. The important thing when you TP out like that is just that you stop Cheshire Cat from getting up his ward to block the camp. So that's a win.
Then again,
that's a win.
Does he actually want to block up the camp? Like, Cheshire Cat wants to come up here and be able to devour from that camp.
No. He wants to block up the pull camp. He doesn't want to block up the hard camp. You are correct.
You're talking about this camp, because I'm talking about like this camp is the one that Cheshire Cat wants to have a crack at.
Yeah. He wants to keep the hard camp alive because it's quick access with the devour.
So instead, he puts it down on the defensive obs ward. He put the obs on the top river instead.
What did he just eat?
Ward? Can you eat wards?
I guess you can now with Tango. Did he?
Oh wait, he might have actually. No, because you've got Beastmaster who went for the Call of the Wild to start with.
Oh, okay.
He'll have Boar or Hawk to go for. Beastmaster's going to take a decent chunk of damage here. J4 actually stopped to keep attacking. Didn't try and get in front of Skylark again. And they're not going to get another chance at this one. They're paralyzing cast still on cooldown. But Skylark's already got to burn through majority of his tangos because of one paralyzing cask as well as one split earth. But he did get the obs ward down, which means there's no pull point.
I was really confused there. I was just like, Doom is currently digesting a delicious creep, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, you took me on that run as well.
I was like, can you eat Sigil? I'm so confused right now. Like, did we get level 1 Sigil? That makes no sense.
How awesome would that be if you could actually take the aura of Sigil and devour it as a Doombringer?
I mean, just instantly killing the Sigil would be so
like, you had that with the Beastmaster Hawk. Like, you could take the Hawk's ability to go invis.
You just end up standing there and going into this after a few seconds.
That actually was a thing. I don't know if that's been I don't know if that's been patched out.
That
but
sounds pretty absurd.
It was a thing.
Anyway, so this Lich, this is going to be the problem. I was not confident in Golden Boys being able to stop. This is why I was talking about aggressive tri-lane, because I don't think their defensive tri-lane can actually stop the Doom, because it's a Lich lane. Like, he's naturally going to pull it back, and the Doom can very safely farm. First of all, because he's super tanky when he has Scorched Earth going, and he has Ice Armor on him, but also because he just runs forward, devours, and then runs back. Like, he doesn't have to spend any time, like, trying to last hit. So he's going to get a really good amount of farm, and the only thing Golden Boys can really do with this is pull.
Skylark said, that's actually enough damage to pop him. That Malediction's going to do its work and spill first blood.
Biggity bit.
This is when it starts to make sense about how much Power Rangers are sacrificing Chommy by throwing him into this mid lane. This will change later on, but okay, and they're going to secure both the 2-minute runes. That actually works nicely. Or maybe, okay, he takes the bounty rune and into Scorched Earth. The damage which can be inflicted into the Visage is quite heavy, but with Razor moving up, they're going to actually back it out. But because, you put the Faceless Void in the mid lane, he's going to get a very early level 6, almost back to the days of what we saw during TI4, where you try and rush up this Faceless Void into a level 6, and then you just use it as an offlaner to find the space for the experience. In this case, you do it for the mid lane, but what it does allow then is for the Beastmaster to get completely pushed out of the lane. A Witch Doctor and a Leshrac, hell no, you take such a risk to come in and get any form of experience or CS.
Yeah, it's funny. I remember telling this story. Are they actually going top?
They don't do enough damage. Cheshire Cat, actually, well, okay, maybe they will be able to do enough damage until that Frost hits, and now Madara takes a lot of damage from the tower, so everything he just gained then gets taken away from him.
Yeah, and Doom's going to take advantage of that now because he's back to full HP, and he's going to be right up in their face until Madara uses a healing salve of his own.
I don't think he really wants to. He's running Mango and Tango.
But yeah, this goes back to the Chinese were the first to run the Faceless Void mid.
Madara, he's really hoping that Pakwafora doesn't hurt him as much as it does. And now it's next time he actually gets 161 crits. They go for more snowball dodges. Last moment, that still means he'll be pulled into Cheshire Cat. Big Nun keeps his distance, and it will be a kill for the dual offlane going into the hands of the Doombringer.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, they're going to go on a Skylark here. They already have the Maledict with the lightning going out, and the stun to land. Skylark's dead as well. 3-0 now for Power Rangers.
This could be quick. This could be quick and dirty.
Yeah.
Like, the Razor is the only saving grace for GB, but as we know with both Razors, actually Razor even more to an extent than a Viper, it takes a while before they really do any kind of damage which you're going to be scared of. And the damage is going to be coming out from Power Rangers a lot earlier. In fact, now top lane. Next time, the attack damage from... I don't know, but they're going underneath the tower now. Madara is just committing. Scorches off cooldown in 1 second time, and now Madara is going to not only burn out, they're going to potentially find themselves a triple kill. The Scorches movement speed, it's actually going to be the burning. It's a double kill for Cheshire Cat. We've gone 6 for 0 in such a short space of time. The supports are going to find levels. You got a level 4.5 Lich 4.5 minutes into the game. Like, what is going on? Like, they managed to actually win the game of pinball, and now they've actually smashed a screen and tilted the table, GB, in game 2.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Toby, I was looking at this lane and going, there's no way a defensive tri-lane really works out here. That being said, I had no idea that Power Rangers were actually going to be able to get so many kills out of this situation.
Yeah.
Golden Boys, they're really not reading the scenario at all.
I would be really, really worried as well for Golden Boys what happens after this point. Like, you pause the game, I almost feel like this is a tactical pause, except it came out from Power Rangers because they lost the Witch Doctor.
I feel like they're panicking. Like, they gave away that first kill, and the Gyrocopter dropped so low, and they're like, this is our defensive tri-lane. We have to actually stop them from farming.
What do you do now? Like, you've just lost your lane so heavily.
Well, they can't go back.
You can't rotate as well. Like, what's the Tusker going to do? Jump on a Faceless Void? Like, all he's going to do is just time walk himself out. And in fact, I'd be more worried about Power Rangers rotating him the Witch Doctor with a level 6, like having this level 1 Death Ward, where you just chrono and kill off Kaiser. And if you do that, you have hands down won every single lane that you are in.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like they should have put, like, the Tusk at the bottom lane, and then the Tusk Beastmaster would actually be able to do something against the Witch Doctor Leshrac, rather than the Beastmaster just dying over and over again. This tri-lane very clearly wasn't going to work out from the start. That being said, I want to go back to the Faceless Void mid. The Faceless Void mid was actually innovated by the Chinese, and they ran it, the first time I saw it, they ran it against a Viper. And it was like, oh, Faceless Void, like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And then I saw them run it mid, and it was with the poor man's shield, and I was like, no way, are they actually going to do that? And it works out. It works out pretty well. The Razor's actually a bit more difficult than the Viper, I would say, because you get less CS. It's less harassment, but you get less CS.
It's clobbering time. They're coming up for Visage. There's face boots on Cheshire Cat. He's happy to be locked in here. Big Gnome, however, maybe not so happy with a three-man snowball down. But where's that Frost Armor making it so difficult? The Lich has already killed off one, and now he can turn, and up comes the Chronosphere, locking in Cheshire Cat. The Puzzle Field will arrive, and actually hurting up the rest of his team. They need to time lock up Kaiser, and they actually get the time lock. Big Gnome can't run away, though, because you do actually have next time here. But now he's actually locking in his teammate. He got his teammate killed, and he's going to lose himself too. You've still got the bonus damage aura. It's 10 for 1. Lich is your only player which has gone down so far.
Doom is level 6 by 6 minutes.
What the shit?
I don't know. Like, I praised Golden Boy so much. I was like, wow, this is what I expected out of this team when they made the move from London Conspiracy.
They're going to lose bottom lane too. Skylark, he's out too far. Paralyzing cast, set up a double damage rune for a Witch Doctor.
And now Doom at the top lane. Yep. Oh no, Madara.
Face Boots, and Madara. You can try and run around this tower. Denial is the only thing that will save you, but well, it looks like Visage was too focused on killing off Cheshire Cat. He can't reach you. The snowball's coming in, but Cheshire Cat, okay. Tusker will actually get 635 gold. He gets as many gold as we've got minutes and seconds on the board right now for killing off an off-lane Doombringer. You rotated your Beastmaster in for this as well. Oh, what is this? These teams were so close and so precise in the last game. It's like we've just...
I don't know, Toby. I've never seen such a huge dichotomy between a team's performance in Game 1 and Game 2. I mean, Game 1, Golden Boys showed us exactly what this team could be capable in the future. And now, Game 2, they're showing us exactly what they've been doing in the defense so far, which is making bad decisions, bad plays, and losing games constantly. Golden Boys are just on tilt right now, and that's what it comes down to. They gave away that first kill, they panicked, they're going, we need to shut down this Doom, we're losing this tri-lane versus dual lane scenario, we need to get aggressive, and the over-aggression of their plays ended up feeding away too many kills, and now there's really very little way to come back into the game. When you have Cheshire Cat this farmed up, and a lineup, especially because the Faces Void is really going to come into play here, as with that Chronosphere, and you've got a free-farming Leshrac bottom lane with the Beastmaster that's not getting anything, like these two heroes, Doom and Leshrac, are going to output so much damage during the Chronosphere.
I can't believe, too, the Void's just feeling he's so confident. He got himself a 8-minute Midas over on this Faceless Void. He felt so confident he could stick there with a PMS, Quelling Blade, and Boots. Now, Kai's is going to realize just how weak he is. He turns on the ulti. The Leshrac stun will keep him back, so even if you thought about snowballing or cooldowning down here, in fact, 4 heroes from GB are on this bottom lane. You burn your first ultimate of the Razor, you rotate the Razor for no joy, and the Void with Midas will just keep pushing further and further ahead. Or is this an intentional trade-off? Skylark comes in to try and farm up the middle lane, and the first thing that gets Midas is his boar. Like, there's just no joy here.
And lightning spam's going to keep Golden Boys from being able to put any real pressure. Yeah, I mean, you throw out the ice shards, like, congrats, you block them out, but the lightning is still keeping you at bay. You can't really dive into that tier 1 tower, particularly
you're losing
with
your
the
tier
Witch
1 on
Doctor.
top. Like, look at top lane, man. Like, Cheshire Cat's happy as Larry. He's got 5 armor, more than any Doom is really normally going to get. Finishes his drums 9 minutes in. They finish up the tower as well, and they've both got TPs. This is why I'm like very apprehensive about Golden Boys attempting anything here. They can't dive the tower because the TP support would just come in and they'd lose the fight after that point.
That being said, it is the right idea by Golden Boys to put pressure on the Leshrac early on. Arcade Power Rangers, I think this is almost the way you need to run Leshrac nowadays, is kind of put him safe lane or put him in a mid lane where he knows he's not going to be ganked, because he's so susceptible to that, and he's not a lane dominator, or at least not as much as he used to be. So they should try and put pressure on him. They shouldn't let him free farm away a Bloodstone nice and early. But the problem still going to be is that their rotational heroes aren't ready to go. They don't have level 6 on Tusk. They don't have level 6 on... They don't even have it on the Beastmaster yet.
The courier just scouted out the fact that GB is farming up inside the Radiant jungle. So this is the reason why Doombringer has not backed up. I was almost waiting for Cheshire Cat to not pick up drums and just go on for something more like his own hand of mice and just feel they've got this game so firmly in the bag. Ooh. They'll smoke up, and J4 running over. Well, there's your smoke break, and he'll see him. Can he get this paralyzing cast off? He's actually out of range of that cooldown, and Madara, malediction on him too. Big Nums is getting a fair chunk of damage over with the Soul Assumption. It's a 1-for-1 trap, but now in comes Doombringer, and the big Chronosphere, catching out the remaining 3 heroes right now of GP. The Doom will stop the Raids from actually living through all of this, and with Scorched Earth, there's no TP support coming. I should say remaining 2 heroes, as the Beastmaster was not there. That's a 2, like you lose both your supports. The Lich still got his ulti off. The Wish Doctor doesn't even have an ulti yet, but you just fed Doom more kills. He's 6-1-6 on the Doombringer right now. If we had 6 deaths to his name, it would be Satanic.
I don't even know, like, what you build as a Doom when you're this far ahead.
I would actually say Blink Dagger at this point. Just keep the aggression up. You could actually go for something else like a Silver Edge. But then again, Beastmaster's not big enough to actually have...
Yeah, it'd be okay versus like Razor, take away that unstable current, but I'm sure he's still gonna go the normal builds of Blink and Aghanims. I was just wondering if there's like...
What if you go like Blade Mail up against it? Because they're never gonna get BKBs. The Jara will be completely useless then.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty funny, because there's a lot of damage, specifically from the Gyrocopter, but there's some from the Razor as well you can't control.
The other option, though, is he just goes mech. Because, actually, no, Lich is doing that, so... Yeah.
I think it's still the Blink
Blade
X.
Mail was just like looking at items which are going to give you like teamfight superiority. He could also just go for something like a Shiva's Guard. Would also work nicely for your team. But you're right, Blink Dagger makes the most sense. And now he's going to find more farm on the top.
Yeah, but who knows? I mean, maybe this Doom does bring back the old like carry Doom build, where you double down on the armor items. It'd be pretty interesting. I mean, that's the thing, right? I've never seen a Doom this far ahead because he only plays offlane.
He could just go Radiance. Like, because he's still got 2.7k gold and he's not going to that side shop, which means it's not a Blink Dagger. Because he would buy the Blink Dagger now if it's going to be a Blink Dagger.
Honestly, Toby, he can go, like, almost anything he wants. So,
like,
when you're this far ahead, like, everything is kind of good, you know, just because it's so absurd. Like, if you want to keep up the aggression, go for the traditional build, Blink Axe. If you want to, like, try and turn into a carry Doom, then you can go, like, you can go Radiance, you can go for the armor build. All right, Shadowblade.
It's an element of initiation, but it still gives him a better damage, and like GB are not going to be expending money on gems and sentries and dust because they don't have the money. Now, however, they snowball down to Leshrac. He needs TP support, and he needs it now. There's not enough survivability. Then again, with both the point booster and the Vit booster, he had a lot to work with. The Hawk is scouting at the fact that Cheshire Cat's TP down. But where's the extra support rotating in? It's coming in from the west, and that's Big Num. The Void jumps in, just realized he can beat the crap out of the Raids. The familiar stuns are going to drop, but remember, you've still got Chrono. He locks the Doombringer in here, and the Snowball maybe next time walked back into the Chronosphere. You've still lost the Razor, but the Doombringer's having significant trouble getting himself out of here. In fact, he won't. The Soul Assumption damage is enough. The 2 supports of the remaining players up for Power Rangers, and now GB just have the fight of their life. That's also the third time we've seen a Chronosphere where he catches a teammate.
Yeah,
but the positioning just is not there. Lich, Big Num, Frost. All
right.
The cast doesn't bounce back down again. He's got 60 life. They actually lose everything. Absolutely everything. Tron wants to try and catch out one. Now, he's got the Observer Ward, which should be able to scout out that maneuvering of the Visage. The Shards try and block it out. Now, this Visage actually just denies himself over to the neutral.
Wow.
So, he gets himself away to safety. Tron doesn't find anything. And GB just got themselves back in this game. Look at the swing of the graphs, man. Yeah, 7.5k for just over for the net worth and 7.5k for the experience gain. And they're down to what's that, 4k and 3k?
Yeah, it's like a 3,000 gold swing. Like, that's absurd. It comes down to Power Rangers. Like, if they were going to fight, if they wanted to avenge the Leshrac, they needed a TP instantly. They needed a mass TP as soon as he signaled, hey, Snowball is coming towards me. And then they would have had a great fight. But then they still tried to force it, and it was primarily Golden Boys. Once again, the vision factor came in. Because they saw what was essentially going to happen, they planned it out. They had the Razor separated from the rest of the team. He's the tankiest of them all. And they would take a lot of time to eat through him, freeing perfect room for the Beastmaster and Gyrocopter to get their initiation on the Faceless Void, which he ends up panicking, throws out a Chronosphere that isn't very good, ends up getting the Doom killed and himself at the same time.
Oh, Big Num, goodbye. Void, though, jumps in, gets a two-man Chrono, and here's that Death Ward combo. Almost as classic as the Mystic Flare. They're going to lose too. The Snowball was already used to initiate. And that is that burst combo that you can just go to work with. Latrak able to tank through what's there. And in fact, also should flag that the Visage lost both of his familiars. He'll have a resummon up soon.
Yeah, the one big thing you cannot forget is that Faceless Void does benefit from levels pretty heavily. Not as big as he used to. It's only 15 seconds per cooldown, but
Visage is dead.
Yeah, he's super dead.
Rage is coming over to try and deny him, and this time
they did it.
Fourth time lucky. But that bottom tier 1 tower is still gone, and with the Visage still down, you can just push this. Like, you got Edict available, but they're moving the Doombringer back to the mid lane. Now, the Dire Observer Ward sees the trees just get destroyed, but they didn't see Cheshire Cat move out. So if you put one-on-one together, you can potentially make two.
Time flies.
Either way, I think Power Rangers are just going to be happy with the tower that they got. Wait on the next. Like they had the Midas advantage.
Yep.
They should just sit back and let Faceless Void farm until he has another Chronosphere. Same goes with like the ultimate of the Doom.
Smoke time from GB. They're coming out, man. They don't want to wait. But where do they go to? It can't be Roshan. Like, they do have the medallion over on the Visage, but the chance of getting caught out, like, Chronosphere is still 21 seconds down. The Radiant Observer Ward and Sentry is there, but obviously that's not going to break it, but it'll at least make it if someone like, example, Faceless Void gets close enough, he just walks himself away. In fact, he time walks himself away up onto the hill. The shards will lock in J4. He's trapped on the hillside. He'll still get the Malediction as well as Cask Off, which will bounce around a little bit sporadically, but now the Lich Holding as well. Tuskar is dead right now. No way to save him, and they find the Razor. He'll actually trigger off the drums in his ulti, but just look at him work through it. And now the two-man Chrono. The Familiar Birds can't get close enough. You can actually see the Void repositioning himself, finding time locks. 4 heroes down. The Familiars are only freshly resummoned as well. They won't have another set for 2 minutes if they stick around for this, which they are 100% doing, and then they'll take the tier 1 tower.
I mean, again, Golden Voids just, they position themselves in a bad area. They knew the fight coming into it was going to be bad. I mean, it was the right idea initially. This is a team that cannot afford to be playing from behind. Power Rangers, especially with the minus that they have on the Faceless Void, they needed to try and continue to push until they reclaimed a net worth advantage for themselves, take over Roshan, do those sorts of things. But so the idea was right. They needed a 5-man smoke. They needed to force a fight. But the thing is, as soon as their smoke popped and the Faceless Void got away, and they got a lot of information, and it took them like a good 8 seconds to chase into the Witch Doctor and get that kill, it was going to be a bad fight, guaranteed. It's right in front of a tier 1 tower. If the members of Power Rangers aren't there, they're going to be there via TP. So, I mean, they just jumped into a bad fight, pure and pure.
Well, right now, these Observer Wards going to watch any kind of movement from GB. Because how many smokes have we actually got left for Golden Boys? So there's one in the stash. But that's all they've really got to work with. One smoke, and now you got also a Lich Invis room doing the scouting. They see Madara as well as Kaiser moving up to that top lane. But this just gives Tron a license to push. And this guy's got 12 Bloodstone. He got that Bloodstone just before the fight began. He's got Bloodstone BTs and has 12 charges already. Now, it may not be as strong as it used to be, but still, a 12-charge Bloodstone Leshrac 19 minutes into this game and already working on his next major item. That's a big concern for GB because they just can't kill him, really.
Oh, yeah, especially since they do have the Boots of Travel on top. Like, they're going to have a lot of kill opportunities with the... I think what they're planning on doing is Power Rangers are just going to be throwing around Chronospheres, like, pretty liberally.
Yep. And
just heavily committing for a pickoff or two.
Oh, here comes the ping. Snowball went to the creep wave, but Void, there's your liberal. Just throwing out the Chronosphere with the Frost Blast. Tuskar is totally dead.
Yeah, I mean, why not? If you look at Golden Boy's lineup, they have a really good 5-man setup, but Power Rangers are exceptionally strong in pickoff, and the best thing about pickoff lineups is that when you get that first kill, you become all the stronger, right? Because then you're dealing with a numbers advantage where you can easily take out yet another hero when the actual fight occurs.
They're coming in right now. Doom, he's got his ulti available, and he really just wants to get that Razor. Able to do so now. Razor got everything off he needed to, but with the Void jumping in, the Death Lord is forcing Kaiser back, and Skylark sticking around here. He's waiting for that denial. Actually attacked a little too early. Luckily for him, though, the Visage was right behind him. But the Razor still ends up going down, and with Tron rotating over, he's going to try and solo up Skylark, and I say try, he will be successful. There's no way Skylark can survive through this one. Even with the mech charge arriving in from the Tusker, the Pulse, okay, 12 life, 13 life, the one attack that comes in from the Lich will do the job. Now you do lose the Lash, and she's down to now 9 Bloodstone charges. The GB lose 3 heroes for this. Actually, they do kill for Doom, but they're fighting this without a Chronosphere like Power Rangers, and the fight's still going their way. Yeah, they're gonna lose their familiars again.
Especially since you're gonna have the Ags here pretty soon on the Faceless Void. Especially with the help of killing familiars. When they have that, you know, every 60 seconds. Chronosphere. Is it still 60 seconds actually? I remember they nerfed Chronosphere and the cooldown and everything else.
It should be. Scepter cooldown, 60 seconds. Scepter duration up to 6 seconds at level 3. Which you might actually only have the 4.5 duration.
So again, just throw it around willy-nilly. Just, you know, get a pick off on a Tuskar. Who really cares? Because Golden Boys are behind, and they're a 5-man lineup crew. They need all 5 heroes.
And killing Tuskar is a great thing too, because you take that mech away from the team fight, then you actually can force things like what was on the top lane, because you don't have that burst heal, that team fight power that the Tuskar brings.
Yeah, exactly. Essentially, Golden Boys are one big machine. This is their lineup. They are a team fight machine. And when one of the cogs is missing, the whole thing falls apart.
He's coming in right now for the Tuskar. Doom's on the Tuskar. Now, Jara, can you get a denial off in the middle of this one? He attempted it, but this Doombringer's is just so strong. He's still got his Shadow Blade available too.
Don't fight him.
Should run away, but okay, well, that's not going to happen. Faceless Void gets the kill in the mid lane too. 3 heroes down. Whew, that was a lot closer for Cheshire Cat, but he just we just 1v2'd. Like, that's what he just did on the top lane.
I mean, the thing is...
And that's his Axe as well.
He had Shadow Blade the whole entire time. He was well in control. He was like, all right, I'll fight this one. Yeah, sure, go ahead.
He could have just Shadow Bladed out, ignored it like half of that Rocket Barrage, and then just hit him, because it's a bonus damage too. You get the bonus damage when you hit with the Shadow Blade.
Yeah, instead he went for the level death, which was a little bit riskier, but...
I suppose you do have to try and work out how much mana have I got? What can I get away with?
Yeah.
Skylark's trying to get away with a kill with an Invis Rune, but even up against that Witch Doctor's got a point booster and an Ogre Club building into that Aghanim Scepter. But for now, it's a lot of tankiness, and they've got the ultimate up from the Faceless Void, Mask of Madness, as well as Ags flying out in the Courier. This is the dream scenario for Power Rangers after what was the nightmare of Game 1. In he flies. Aghanim's up. Now, can they scout out Skylark? And how much does he see? Like, now he'll see the Witch Doctor walking over. He'll see the Faceless Void also making a play. They won't know Skylark's here unless they walk up into this area. It's the only way to see that Beastmaster. And maybe they don't even care. Lestrike's having a great time with now a Yule Scepter on the bot lane. And another 1,800 gold because he didn't have enough before.
The Doom Ags is probably one of the most obnoxious things to play against when Doom is ahead, because it just guarantees a kill. Because the Doom is already, because he's ahead, he's tanky enough that he will never be bursted down immediately. So he dooms you, and he guarantees, he's already prolonged the duration automatically by having an Ags. Goes up to 16 seconds, but then he prolongs it probably at least another 3 seconds, if not much, much more, because of the fact he's going to be staying in vision of you. So this is taking out, even the Razor, 1,700 HP. The most Razor can hope to do, this, the dream scenario for Golden Boys is that he gets off Eye of the Storm and Static Link before he gets doomed, and he just turns and fights as much as possible.
Well, that's what he did on top lane. That's when they did kill off the Doombringer. But moments like this up against Madara, he's going to tick out right now. There was no denial out from Skylark. He just tries to burn away at Cheshire Cat, and well, there goes your Chronosphere. Guarantees the kill on the Beastmaster. He can move over, kill off the Necro units. Oh no, Cheshire! Careful! Necro unit is committing murder.
Yeah, that was. I was just about to say. I was like, it'd be really unfortunate if Scorched Earth to him.
Top lane, Razor. There's your Death Ward. Just taking away so much. With the Lich holding, going to bounce down. Does not bounce back up again, however. But the Pulse Nova's making its work. Tron, Yule scepted himself up. Buy some time. The Soul Sum just back off cooldown. But the Meg Charge will connect. Tron will be able to survive through this. And with the Witch Doctor and the Lich going to go to work, it's 2 supports versus... Well, okay, the snowballing in Tusker. Tron's back, hits the stun and the lightning damage. Soul Assumption, he's still alive on 83. The shards are off target. They're gonna lose next time, this time again. 25 minutes in, we have, well, just a crap ton of kills. 47 kills in 25 minutes, majority belonging to Power Rangers. And now they've also taken out every outer tower apart from that bottom tier 2.
Yeah, they've got an 18,000 gold lead right now. Just imagine if Power Rangers, like the one bad fight that they had in that bottom lane, if they didn't run into that one.
This game would be over by now.
Oh, yeah, they guaranteed. I mean, he's just like, he's just having fun, man. Chomi's just being a boy. He's like, whatever, guys, I'm a stand-in in this team, you know. Let's just have some fun with it.
Look at me. Look how I chrono.
Throw down chronospheres for no reason.
Oh, boy. Man, what is this? Okay, so the Lich... It's a Blink Dagger in for the Faceless Void. Lich has a lot of money. He can just finish the Glimmer Cape right now on top of the mech and still have enough money for a buyback. Cheshire Cat's walking around. He is going to go for an armor build next, so has the plate mail. And, okay, this is the play. They're snowballing in for Roshan. And they're using level 3 Necro books to do it. Problem is, they don't have the damage, and then you snowball in for this, and you still walk in. Now, Radiant side have no vision.
Yeah, they're good.
Yep.
They'll get it. So
I still don't know it's going to be enough, though. You get a BKB now on the Lesh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be enough necessarily either, but...
And they put on the Razor. Like, you talk about the fact, like, he triggers his ultimate and hopes he can just, like, try and man-fight them while keeping that ulti up before he ends up dying. Now... Yeah. You trigger that at the start, or do you wait for the Aegis to expend? Do you walk up there and say, please, please attack me? And then you blow everything when you come back out of it.
Honestly, Toby, I really think they should have put it on the Gyrocopter.
Agreed.
I mean, he
just finished his SMY too. He doesn't have buyback. Drop a salve, like, who cares?
He outputs a lot of damage in a very short period of time, but he's also very squishy and can be bursted down. Like, if their Gyrocopter gets doomed, I'm pretty sure having a second life on the Razor isn't going to mean anything. That being said, they'd probably put it on Razor because he's been doomed almost every single fight, so I could see where they're kind of going with this.
Yeah.
But
it's just what it takes to win the fight. Like, you're like, okay, we keep losing him. We need to protect our Razor. He's died 6 times. The net worth isn't even in the 10,000s yet. In fact, he is actually still the top net worth of GB. Yeah. But, oh, boy, boy, boy. If you get a good chrono, J4 will destroy GB. The Aghanim Scepter level 2 ulti 28 minutes into this game.
Yeah, I guess I'm just kind of looking at it and going, like, Golden Boys, there's no way you win a fight unless it's the most ideal scenario possible. And for me, the most ideal scenario is that the Gyrocopter gets doomed and he has a second life, and then the Razor is able to come in with impunity. This
cooldown's coming after Tron now. The Visage will get the Visage Familiars get the stun, but yeah, Madara, he's just going to get himself out. But again, how many times have we seen these Familiars be farmed up? They can see them moving into the tree line. Problem is they can't see up to the tree line. The stun, okay, well, there's one way to do it. Remove the tree line, remove both the Familiars again. And you just never resummon for 30 seconds. This is bottom tier 2 tower. Yeah. I'm actually wondering too if Power Rangers just go up. Just push up into the tier 3 tower. Like, as long as you don't have to commit Chronosphere, you're gonna be okay. Because that's the dream right now. Get vision, get good chrono, win game. That's the plan.
They could maybe force a TP out of it, but I don't think it's, like, worth the risk, essentially. I don't think it's very much risk. I think they're so far ahead, and I don't think the Razor Ags is really going to mean that much.
It's the PR motto, man.
Okay.
No boring games of Dota. Just keep pushing. Like, you understand, okay, well, no one from GB's there. Cheshire Cat moved the front lines. The man now who's got himself, like, 24 points of armor, Still got his Shadow Blade, still got that Aghanim's, and he's just moving over. He sees the TP coming in. He's like, okay, well, Gyro, welcome. Instantly doomed the second he arrived, and now Void jumps in. Again, Chrono's his own teammates, but the Death Ward's in a good position. The Roar from Skylark has to be committed to stop this, but now he's got no other disable. Loses the Bork, it's getting Myers during the fight. Paralyzing Cask will hold him there. He loses the Gem of True Sight. Meanwhile, back inside the base, Cheshire Cat's being flipped on a toaster right now, as the Doombringer will end up dying. And that's worth 1,300 gold to a Visage. Well done, man.
Yeah, Skanks is over there going like, all right, hot damn, that just like boosted my my Aghanims. That's a straight up point booster by itself.
Then again, he keeps losing the Familiar so often, it's just more money. I hate to be the pessimistic one when saying such a thing, but it's just more and more money coming in the way of Power Rangers. That Chrono was, like, again, I think he's actually caught more teammates than he's caught enemies, but they still keep killing enemies inside those Chronospheres.
I mean, that's the beauty of being this far ahead, is that you can afford to just, you know, kind of throw it out there, whatever. My team's not really going to die for it.
He's got himself a Blink Dagger. Like,
it
should be the dream. It's the dream Chrono. You've taken out the tower, so at least next time they could put an Observer Ward inside the base of GB, because they also stole GB's gem. So it's J4 who's walking around with this stolen gem.
Yeah, who did he Chronosphere? I forgot, but like the Chronosphere faded, and then I was like watching him, and he blinked in order to get the last hit, and I was like, wait, you what? You what, mate? Oh, all right, he's got a blink dagger on Faceless Void. Good to go.
Just have a little bit of fun, bro.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the Faceless Void is more, like, yeah, he's good damage, but he's more utility than anything right now when you go for this Axe build.
Yep.
So...
But that's fine. Like, again,
yeah, I mean, he's got a Doom and a Leshrac behind him. Those are two very heavy damage-based heroes, particularly the Leshrac. If you just control the enemy team, Leshrac and Doom will both guarantee a win. So you don't
Doom
need
his
to
own
build
control
damage.
too. Doom just finished his Shiva's Guard. So now he's going to make everyone just completely slow it up. Skylark it's actually kind of the funny thing. If you actually look back to the position of the fight, now the Chronosphere covered most of this region here. Skylark came in from behind, so he could roar onto the Witch Doctor who was throwing out the Death Wall. By the time he got there to throw that out, because he doesn't have a Blink Dagger, he had to walk himself outside the base to get down to that position. It was too late. The Death Wall already did the damage.
Yeah. It was the right idea by Golden Boys because they knew they just couldn't five-man defend uphill.
Yep.
They had to split themselves against the Chronosphere.
And here they come again. Where's that Observer Ward? 15 Bloodstone charges this time over on the Lash. And they're just coming in. The Dara actually have Observer Wards down as well as sentries. So they at least have the information. And Cheshire Cat's going to flag the fact too that this is here. But all they got to do is walk forward with the gem. Actually, Witch Doctor dropped it. Who's got that gem now? They must have left it behind thinking maybe this fight's going to go bad. Okay, jump in, Chrono. There is on the Razor. The Caller's in a good position, but J4 just lets the ulti out. He actually pops the Shadow Amulet, and look at that bounce damage from the Death Ward. It's carving apart the GB boys. Madara's up too far. I think this game is over. They've lost absolutely everything. Kaiser's dying inside the base. There's no buyback. 70 seconds left for the Razor to come back up again. If GB have hope, I don't know where they're keeping it, because...
Yeah, I mean, that was literally the ideal fight for Golden Boys. They went on they solo Chronosphered a Razor
GG.
with Eye of the Storm going and had Pipe activated. Like, he lived through the Chronosphere, and they still lost terribly, terribly, terribly.
Yeah.
That's just because Power Rangers built themselves a gigantic advantage. And that's awesome for them because they now have a pretty good shot, I would say, of moving into phase number 2. It all comes down to how well Stark do against Monkey Business.
And of course, we're going to have that up next. We're going to make no delays whatsoever because the game may have begun. We're going to find out soon, so stay on the live stream. A very short break, and we're back here for our second and last series of the night. Welcome back, everybody, here to the coverage of the defense. I'm W1, joined here by Capitalist. We go into our second series of the night, and do not fear, we are not behind the schedule. In fact, we are right on schedule. Let's go to the game, Cap. It is the team that has dominated this group. It is Monkey Business going up against Finland. It is Stark.
That being said, we do have to let everybody know that we're not going to be on Dota TV. If you're looking for the ticket, we're not there. So anybody who comes into the chat and was like, I don't see Toby and Capitalist, where are they? Just kindly let them know. Sir, madam, hold on to your pants. The casters, unfortunately, were late to lobbying because of the peculiar circumstances of what the second series usually entails, because it is on TV.
Mm-hmm.
They have to start.
It is what we do for the greater good of the Danish people.
Do you like my impression of the people who come in and chat? And
yeah, it was good.
Rise Toby and Capitalist! I don't know. I'm not even sure what that voice is.
Yeah,
I feel like that's something from the Muppets.
Yeah, that's actually exactly where my mind went. It's like we need Red, like Red Eye. He looks exactly like Beaker. Remember Beaker?
Oh yeah, Beaker.
Yeah.
I'm sorry with your Australian accent over there. I was
sorry, Gavin. I was saying Baker. Hey, you're a baker.
No, that's not either. It's the fact that you don't like you.
Beaker. How is Beaker wrong?
No, the thing is, Toby. The thing is, with your accent, sometimes you put R's into certain words, but it's not like you don't create R's. What you do is you take them away from other words and put them into. So in this circumstance, when you say Bika, and I'm like,
Bika.
and I don't hear an R at the end, and I'm just like, Pika?
Do you need to hear like Beaker? Do you need
Yes,
Beaker?
Beaker, yeah.
Beaker. That's unnatural. Not doing it.
But I hear Pika. Because I don't know what a Pika is. I hear Pika, and I'm like, I'm thinking Pikachu, I'm thinking Pokemon, I don't know where I'm going.
God damn it.
I'm just going like, what?
You know, man, if we actually had like a Swedish team in here right now, it'd be like
See, the thing is, Toby, it's entirely possible that you could be talking about Pokemon, and I just don't realize it. Because sometimes you pull out references that I don't understand. It happens a lot. So sometimes I'm sitting there and I'm going like, Beaka. I was like, is this a reference I just don't know?
Man, have you ever heard of the Viking pigs?
No.
You need to look up the Viking pigs. I think it'll be direct, like straight down your alley. You'll love the Viking pigs.
What? Okay.
It's a Muppet. I've actually watched every single episode of the original Muppet series.
Have you watched the new Muppets? What's happening?
Oh God, which one? Like just there's like
No, the new TV show.
Really?
The Muppets.
No,
Yeah.
I probably won't because the Muppets for me died years ago when they were great.
Wow.
When I still had my connection to the rainbow.
5 seconds remaining.
The dance that you did, I wish that went out on stream.
It's the reference dance. All right, game time. Monkey Business going with the tried and true Wisp and Tiny combination. Always feels natural when you got Fly and No Tail in a team and they run a Wisp and Tiny combo.
10 seconds.
But they do start off with some, I'm going to say some unusual bans where you take out things like the Alchemist. We're definitely seeing the effect of him more and more in previous games.
Reserve time.
So, this game, first of all, another reason that I was thinking that Power Rangers easily would go into the next phase is because they 2-0'd Stark.
Yeah.
So I felt like they were the stronger team that was proven in a head-to-head. But at the same time, Stark did 2-0 Golden Boys, which is why they're kind of ahead in Power Rangers.
But at the same time, like
way.
Stark and Golden Boys fall into the same category of these guys could beat anybody on any day. But they could also lose so badly that you'll never bet another rare on this team ever again. This is just what ends up happening.
I would say almost anybody. I'm not sure if Stark on their best day can beat Monkey Business on like just a regular good day for them. I'm not convinced of that, but we'll see. Monkey Business, they're running a pretty interesting combo right now. This is pretty common when you're going to go for the Tiny Wisp, that you pick up a pretty early aggressive carry. Because your true carry, your true one position is in the middle lane. You want something that takes advantage of the safe lane, but is able to come online relatively early. Sven and Slardar, I think, are perfect examples of those exact kind of heroes. I much prefer the Slardar, just because, well, I've been playing around with offlane Slardar, and I've kind of fallen in love. Moo has taught me the ways of that. So I think it's really cool, and this also will work pretty well because it's a Blink Initiator, and that is awesome versus Ember Spirit and Queen of Pain.
I'm actually with you on it, man. These dual lanes from Monkey Business look so damn strong. If this is an offlane Slardar, it doesn't even matter if he's paired with the Wisp or the Lich. More than likely, it's probably just going to be the Lich anyway. But we're looking back into the same position we were in game number 2, where you say, you know, these lanes are really damn strong. I say game 2 of our previous series, but it's like, what are you expecting to come out from this? Like, is the Spirit Breaker going to charge in? He's going to cop Frost Armor, or he's going to cop a Toss Back, Avalanche to stop his attack in. You've got Slardar, who's got Crushes. He can get that off before the Spirit Breaker connects on him as well. And if you do find yourself underneath the tower, you're stunned, you never connected with your charge, you're getting Frost blasted up, you can't charge yourself away anymore. I don't see the Spirit Breaker really working out in that front. But if you have more men that can just run in with them, and in this case it'll be the undead type of men, you could drop that Tombstone and maybe you can fight back here, because there is no real great clearance for the Tombstone at the moment. The Tombstone got reworked. It's actually not that hard for a Lich as well as a Wisp to clean up the Tombstone.
Yeah, so I feel like the Tombstone is much weaker in the early game, but it's a lot stronger in the mid to late game.
Okay.
So the reason for that is that now Tombstone only takes a direct number of hits, right? So that means in the early game, 2 supports can take it down in the space of a second and a half, pretty easily.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like the mid game, it no longer can be just a carry going in and 2 or 3 shotting it. That's no longer possible. So it actually allows the Tombstone to survive a lot longer. It also makes in a way, the Soul Rip is a lot more effective. Its heal that it does on the Tombstone is way more effective when you look at it from it's a number of hits and it takes 7 of them. That it means a lot for carries to spend that long to hit a Tombstone.
But that's where you look for your supports. Like, you've got an overcharged Wisp that can just kick in. You've already got an increased attack speed.
Yeah, but that's still an issue, right? If you're going into the mid to late game, if you're requiring your supports to be the ones to move forward and hit the Tombstone,
especially someone like a Wisp.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the problem is going to be is that the Tombstone now forces. I think more so than before. Before the supports would sit outside and wait for the carry to kill the Tombstone.
Yeah.
Now you can't rely on that as much because it takes a number of hits, and unless you have a carry that has really fast attack speed, it's not worth it so much for them to go for it. So now the supports are forced to go into the Tombstone. I think this was actually an overall buff to Tombstone, except for in the early game. It's a big problem.
All right, Legion Commander's going to be the last one taken out here. That would have been one of the cores that could have stood there and just taken out that Tombstone. Or either that, or they just don't care. Like, the Tombstone's going to be there. Your cores are able to push back Stark so far that the Tombstone on the front lines ends up being the Tombstone on the back lines. And the supports just move up with the rest of the team. And that is a distinct possibility that could happen here.
So I don't really like the cores of Stark against Tiny Wisp. I believe that they're going to be running Undying Spirit Breaker in the bottom lane to put pressure on the starter. I think that's a great idea. Queen of Pain mid, not a big fan of. Ember Spirit will probably be supported by something that the Earthshaker is going to be against. I much would prefer them to, like, I would actually be down for them picking up a Bristleback right now, running the Bristleback against Tiny Wisp, and then running some sort of aggro tri-lane. It's not a good idea given the supports that they have. Spirit Breaker and Undying, they work in tri-lanes, but I don't think you want both of them in a tri-lane. You want the Undying, not necessarily the Spirit Breaker. But I'm not a big fan of Queen of Pain versus Tiny Wisp because I feel like you still can very easily be popped by the combination. It only takes a very slight misplay to get caught by the Avalanche stun combo. And if that doesn't kill you with the Wisp Balls, if that doesn't kill you, then it forces you back at the very least. while as I think there are plenty of other mids that they could have picked up versus the Tiny Wisp, or they could have run some sort of dual lane, but I don't think that's the scenario. Unless they're keeping Undying middle, and they're running Spirit Breaker as a solo off lane, which would be pretty unusual. Like, I don't think I've ever seen an Undying mid to face up against the Tiny Wisp. But
I would be very surprised if that would be the case.
yeah, I think it's much more likely they're just putting pressure on the Slardar, which is a decent idea, but it really comes down to I felt like they could have had a better option for their mid, and they could have run something like, say, Queen of Pain Spirit Breaker as a dual off lane, and then have a Bristleback mid, or a Queen of Pain Undying off lane. Really powerful dual lane, like exceptionally powerful. The harassment that they can do together is insane, and then you have a much safer mid lane against the Tiny Wisp. But we'll see. I mean, Nemphy has shown himself to be, I think, a pretty open player in that he can accomplish a lot. I feel like he's just a little hot and cold.
He might get heated up in a moment. Crit's basically acting as a ward. They purposely put Crit up here so he doesn't actually have to plant down the Observer ward, and gives all the vision that monkeys require to try and go for a gank like this.
Oh,
and
let's not forget, he's going to toss him up!
Here they go. Oh, no! He put him on the cliffside, and then he
Wrecked.
comes back down again. It's not just for vision. Now they can basically go 3-3,
Oh
man
my
crush.
God.
Oh, this is just terrible. No tells him to run out here. He's still got toss available. He'll throw the Ember Spirit up. This will be first blood with a crush from Miracle. The charge coming in from Trixie, and they actually stop him. He doesn't have a bash. He will be able to still punch down No Tell. The double stun arriving from the Lion. But here they go again. Consume the Mango. They've committed heavily for this one. The blocks, but this is why. The tether back in again. Trixie wants to try and find the charge away, but the Lich is still able to attack and kill him off. It's 2 for 1, and Varlix is basically stuck, and all he can do is be an observer in what is a horrendous start for Stark.
Game over, man. Game over. That's what Valix is saying right now. Oh, God. It's so dirty. If you've ever had that happen in your pubs, it's so dirty.
But how do you prepare for that? That toss came from the rune position up to the cliffside.
I mean, there really is nothing you can do about it except for putting like your Spirit Breaker or your Queen of Pain on the front line. And if Tiny charges past them in order to get to a hero that is better to toss up there, that doesn't have the natural mobility factor, then they'll take too much damage and you'll probably win the fight because of it. That's the only thing. But they clearly did not expect this to happen, right? Like the Undying would have positioned himself like that.
And what do you do now? Like, your Undying's trapped on a hillside. You can't get the courier to him because all the Radiant side have to do is put an Observe Ward on the Dire side of the cliff and just watch over the rune. And if anyone ever tries to come and stop him, he'll die. Like, they could try and kill him now, but it's almost better to keep the Undying out of the lane.
Oh, yeah, especially since you've already gotten First Blood.
Good luck, Tusker. So, wait. So, you have to have, like, Tusker, Spirit Breaker as well as Undying down here, harassing the Earthshaker out. Now it's a one-on-one stando lane.
Yeah, that's not going to go right. Especially since Trixie...
is coming.
No, actually, Trixie got a kill, so he's not actually behind in any way. That being said, you're going to see this Earthshaker. He's going to go for the maxed out Enchant Totem build. This is perfect in melee versus melee matches. It's very rare to be able to see the true success of this build because you don't see Earthshaker in 1 versus 1s very often, but Earthshaker will crush the Spirit Breaker.
Sorry, I'm just watching Victory Donkey right now trying to get this this TP scroll out to poor Varlix, who just can't do anything. The downside for Fly is he did level up Frost Blast as his first level, so he can't just go into the lane, and he wants to sit in the lane and get his sacrifice up. But it's almost sacrificing himself now, because Miracle's fine. Like, Miracle's not being harassed at all. The middle lane, actually, I should have actually switched this back over to the CS board. My apologies. Okay, so all the CS is really good. You got a 7 for 2 Earthshaker on the bottom lane as well for his CS. Courier's coming in now, and Fly, he's just doing laps. Like, he's riding around, and they're going to get the 2-minute rune as well. Fly gets confirmation by being decayed. The Varlix is still up there. But what more are you meant to do? Like, this Courier is still spending so much time. It can't even bottle run for Nemphy at the moment.
Thought you had that, didn't you?
Actually, there goes Spirit Breaker. Actually, got to kill on bottom lane. That's surprising, actually.
I don't know. Maybe got lucky on RNG. I didn't actually see
There's
it.
no fissure. He went a 0-2-1 build
Yeah,
on
exactly.
this ES.
That's what I was saying. Maxed out Enchant Totem. It works. Unless the Spirit Breaker got a little lucky, you should always be able to out-damage. I mean, because think about it. Like, you're doing three melee attacks for his one when you Enchant Totem hit him.
Valix is back. He just consumed his mango to get a decay off. Even his base regeneration is gone.
But either way, I mean, the Spirit Breaker is left in this. Like, they spent so much time with the Courier trying to get to the TP up there, and then they've also now need to get Nymphy his bottle, that Trixie has to go all the way back to base. So the Earthshaker is still fine, despite the fact that he died. He'll catch up during this downtime for the Spirit Breaker.
Yep. So bottle it up. The pullover on the side. This stack is becoming a real nuisance for Monkey because they don't have a way that they can clear this themselves. They want to actually get the aggro, which they are able to do so for the catapult at least. And then, okay, Crush into its stun. Miracle. The follow-up Hex up. Searing Chain is available. And this is a very dead Slider on the top lane. And that's a big kill for the Ember Spirit because now there's no way for Monkeys to contest this pull.
Yeah, there was no reason to get aggressive, like, at all.
But they did.
So I don't know what that was all about.
So you end up giving a kill over. Trixie got himself a solo kill on the Earthshaker. He's a little bit behind in the CS, but it's not too shabby. The middle lane is actually where Nymphy's having a really good time. 18 for 4 for him against Notal's 15 for 0. And you expect Notal to be up a little bit higher just because of... yeah, okay. Tether up. Slider's rotated down, and, yeah. You can see Earthshaker trying to move into position to cancel that, but he could not get there in time. Yeah, but you expect Notal to have more. Wait, no.
Trixie stopped his charge at the wrong time.
Unless it's all part of the plan.
Meanwhile, Valix is like, all right, guys.
No, here they come. They're coming from middle lane. Notal's pretty low, but this Earthshaker has a fissure available, and Trixie, if he comes up... Oh, no! He came up! He's on the hillside. The first time will connect. The Avalanche will be there, and they're ready to toss him back if really required. Trixie's down very, very low. And, well, enough. One more hit. Notal. He can't toss something. Okay, well, Trixie walked back into him. Okay, that'll work. Earthshaker. Shadow Strike won't be enough to tick him out, and Nymphy's not going to blink forward for that. So they end up losing the Spirit Breaker, and that gives Notal a kill. Momentum and the Avalanche toss. They just keep going. That Queen of Pain, I was underestimating the damage which could be done by Tani, and I think she fell into the same category.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of when you put Queen of Pain against this this lane. Just one mistake, and it's going to cost you. Like, you're always going to be forced to blink back. Like, it can be a false start. Like, the Tiny can just run at you a little bit, and you'll be forced to blink back because they have such a huge attack speed advantage over you that you can't just run yourself back. You're going to have to use a blink every single time. That leaves either a lot of dead time where you're not able to move forward because you don't have your mobility.
The coming bottom lane, Fissure, it's going to come out at the perfect time. Allows for the Crush to try and beat into Trixie. Miracle! He's going to take out, no, he's got one charge! There we go, as well as the Wisp arriving. Trixie's down to 25 life, but the Wisp balls will slap him across the face. Now they move up for Nymphy as well. Blink is back off cooldown with the Soul Rip and Tombstone committal. Now it's Monkeys who have to retreat themselves away from this fight. Chris still got ball charges and stick charges available, so he can bring Miracle back up a little bit more. But he hasn't taken enough damage to really make this work.
Top lane.
Have they caught him?
Yeah. Okay, see ya and Boogie. Combined forces. Uh-oh, they're going to trap him. Oh, maybe not.
No. Earthshaker doesn't want to let it go. He's being charged. He could have fissured, but they only would have caught Valix.
Yeah, I thought he was going to just throw a long range.
Hello, blink down by Nymphy. Miracle, he's still got 3 1-charges available, and the Fidge is going to buy him the space where he can 1-charge himself out. And, actually, is that even enough? He might tick from this. He's staying inside the tree line, and he's going to tick down low, and actually he does die from the last tick. And now it's up to Trixie, who's man-boating up against Earthshaker and pops his Mango to get another Fissure up. But he can't follow up with a Totem Stun, which means Trixie now charges forward. The damage is still there. He follows up with a different Totem into the Frost Blast, but it's the rotation that's on its way from the Wisp that might just come in time for the balls to go to work over on Nymphy. He'll blink himself away, and Trixie, the TP out in the trees. They'll see him, but they cannot inflict damage to get the kill. And this is getting scrappy.
Yeah, it's getting real awkward for Monkey Business, who should have had a gigantic lead by now, but Earthshaker dying at bottom a couple times when he really shouldn't have. I mean, for example, Miracle would have lived if he just fissured the damn Queen of Pain, but he kept holding off and holding off and holding off, and that resulted, I think, in 3 different right clicks from the Queen of Pain that shouldn't have occurred. And then you come...
No. Here's a toss onto the tower, is what's here. And No-Tail's trying to ensure the last hit in the tower, and actually ends up blowing it up and actually allowing, himself to blow it up.
Yeah. Miracle, meanwhile, gets the kill on the Undying in the bottom lane. Not entirely sure how. Again, I was watching that middle lane engagement just to see
I'm
where...
assuming he was just in too far. Amplification came online, and then Undying just loses everything.
Oh!
Top lane, they're committing their stun hits on the Earthshaker. And goodbye, Earthshaker. Maybe not with the fissure. And the follow-up stun,
Punch
he's
him.
got a little bit of range, and the stick charges. He gets them off. 6 HP, he'll survive. The support's rotating up from Fly. So he'll Frost Blast onto the Lion.
Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Nymphy is being run down. 3 seconds until he has a blink up, but they do have a toss. Oh, they get the toss, but it's still not enough.
They need the Avalanche to follow it up. Trixie, okay, that was an optimistic charge.
They also they could have had Miracle, but I'm not sure if Miracle had Sprint ready to go.
I didn't see it myself, so Trixie. It's almost like he's just trying to make an intimidation factor, but when you keep getting amplified like this, he's negative 10 armor on this Spirit Breaker, and Miracle just needs 1 bash here. If he gets the bash, he gets the kill. Trixie actually never strikes in, and Slaughter, well, he's got the sprint up, wants to pop the 1 charge, just goes for the stomp, and Trixie pulls out of it at the right time, just on the edge. That would have been a kill as well. That's a level 4 crush.
Earthshaker, he's almost got his level 6, so he's willing to commit to this one. He has a Fisher ready to go. He has the Echo Slam in just a second. Kill the creep. Echo Slam.
Pop it! And there's the stun! He actually take it!
Oh,
the
Miracle.
Ember wasn't looking. The Ember didn't know.
No, Miracle almost stopped it. He soaked up some of the experience of those creeps. The Earthshaker was expecting to get his level 6 from some of those creeps that died, and then the experience was halved, and he had to kill 1 more in order to get it. But that was way too close for comfort.
Wow. Big kill as well. The Ember Spirit was starting to get away. His net was up pretty damn high. And now with this death, out of lane, out of farming. And he's 1,200 behind that of the Tiny, who just looks like he just finished up a big stack. And it's the early Blink Dagger. A 9.5 minute Blink Dagger for the Tiny. This is going to get more aggressive than it's already been. And we're already looking at like 13 kills in the space of 10 minutes for this game. This Undying needs some levels more than anything else.
Yeah, he had a bad start to this game, and it's only getting worse and worse. He's supposed to be a hero that fights early, but he was so underleveled that he couldn't survive the fights. And that's causing him a plethora of issues.
All right, Nymphy. Let's see how you deal with this Blink Tiny. No-Tail's not even keeping it a secret. He could have, like, oh, here's the first reveal of the Blink Tiny. He just goes to the lane to farm up normally. And so far, I haven't seen Snark ping out his position. Instead, they're pinging up towards the top lane. It's the Earthshaker. Up just a little bit too far. Lich will come forward. The Frost Armor, well, it's there, but they relocate in. And there's your Blink Avalanche Toss combo. The Ember Spirit will die for the Earthshaker. The Urn Charge will ensure the Lion... ensure nothing. Oh. He is so lucky, Wisp. That killed him off.
Yeah, that was damn close. But now they have the Blink Dagger. What do you do as a Queen of Pain? You're like, you ever show yourself in the middle lane,
you're dead.
Combo.
That's a 4-4 combo. And it's not even just a 4-4 combo. It's the fact that the Wisp can just tether in directly after and then just slap you across with balls. Like, that's all you really need to do as well. Get the balls prepared. Probably going to take like 1 or 2 if the combo doesn't kill him already. And the confidence from Monkeys, like they killed the tier 1 town in the middle lane, and they smoked on the dire side of the river. Like, they smoked in this area right here. They don't care. Like, they don't think Stark is watching anyway. They don't think they got enough money. Okay, Avalanche is a little off target. Can't get in range for the Frost Blast, and they also can't slow him down. And Trixie, okay, now the toss will come, and Trixie is dead. This is just the fact of life.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you know you're kind of ahead, when you can afford to just blatantly mess up a combo like that and still get the kill. Because Stark aren't willing to rotate. I mean, how can they? They don't have an Undying. He's still only level 5.
Fly has a friend. Doesn't want to play with him. They both don't have their ultis up, so they're both not looking at kills. Spirit, you do not want to jump down there, Ember Spirit. And that was a haste stream picked up by Crit, so he'll keep up with Tiny pretty easily. And No-Tail's going directly into the Aghanim Scepter. They want to move from kill to push. Might have a little bit of trouble if they lose heroes like Miracle, who's backing up now. Was just getting charged from the base.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way that Stark ever go up to that top lane to fight, especially since you already see the Undying at bottom. So he should
Lion's
know.
dead. Fidge is going to hold him here. There's no need to relocate in. They just ensure the kill. They might consider it once they see the SB up there, though. But they left it.
But yeah, Miracle's just going to try and farm up his Blink Dagger. Honestly, I think he should have spent time in the jungle earlier instead of like showing himself to make sure he didn't get charged. But he didn't die, so it's all fine.
Top lane, the charge is coming on the Earthshaker this time around. And Trixie, still a level 1 charge. Like, he's not reaching him in time. It's too slow.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Like, what do you...
It was tiny. I got to go for a kill in middle.
Well,
Nymphy could be dead.
they don't have vision, though. They need the creep wave to give them the vision. And now they have the vision. So now they have the kill. Avalanche toss can't blink in time. There's the Spirit Balls. But the range just needs a little bit further. There it is. Pew, 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 hee, ho, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah. Like most normal scenarios, Toby, only 2 falls are really needed.
I guess how you got shafted in that situation.
It's pretty messy.
Yeah.
Blink Dagger's almost up for the Earthshaker. And Blink Dagger's up for the Sarda. So 3 different Blink Daggers, all about ready to go. I can say hero like Ember Spirit, who just dies. Hero like Queen of Pain, who also just dies. Lion, kind of same thing there. And the Undying is too weak because he's underleveled because of that awful start, so he just dies as well. It's only the Spirit Breaker who can like survive through an initiation from any one of these cores.
You're sounding very optimistic there, Cap.
Yeah, I've got a lot of faith in Stark at this point in the game. I mean, honestly, the Tiny Wisp just I really feel like it just crushes what Stark
Drafted.
Yeah, I mean, they just drafted a lineup where it was like, okay, if we get ahead of them, we're all good. But that's the thing. It's like it's a Tiny Wisp. You're never really truly going to be ahead of them. Plus, you know the way Big Daddy No Tail likes to build it. It's not like it's going to be an Aghanim's Drums build on the Tiny. He goes Blink Dagger constantly.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to kind of keep that in mind. Granted, I think they went for the Queen of Pain in the first one too.
I think they just pinged out the fact that Nymphy's there. Like, they know he's in the tree line. Yeah, look at it. The man speed's coming from Earthshaker. It's like, yo, guys.
How do they know?
They just know. Like, they're checking the sideboard max spot. That's the spot. And it's like, okay, maybe it's just like, can we check this? Hello!
Oh.
And then Avalanche. So, yeah, they didn't know. If they knew, they would have just jumped themselves in. Now No-Tail's in way too deep. They charge him back, but it's a relocate back out to safety. And how far did they go? They went all the way back to base with that relocate, but Trixie's out so far. They amplify him up, and now that relocate's going to come back with the Tiny in the perfect position. Or actually, no, it's just going to be the crit. And Trixie bounce up. That Ice Frost is jumping over, and there goes your Queen of Pain. They've kind of lost everything here. Boogie's on the run. Vargas will be allowed to TP himself away here, but the toss is back off cooldown. You throw in the Slider, which means he can go directly for the crush. He doesn't even need a Blink Dagger when you're playing with the Tiny, but it helps, and that'll be the top tier 1 tower to drop.
Don't worry, I don't blame you, Toby, if you're a little bit confused what happened in that team fight. Because I would be confused too.
So what ended up happening, Cap? Lay it on me, man.
Okay, so when they had to relocate out like that,
Yep.
Stark immediately were like, oh, we have to take this. Like, this is a huge opening, right?
Yeah.
Monkey Business read the same exact thing, and Big Daddy No Tail immediately bought a TP and TP'd in because he couldn't afford to wait out the relocate timer. I mean, just imagine if they continued to dive onto that tier 1 tower, they would have been not only late because the relocate, but they also would have been way out of position to help. So Big Daddy No Tail says, okay, I have to be there immediately for this fight. He TP's in, and Crit goes ahead and just waits out the relocate, obviously. But yeah, that's why the relocate brought back the Wisp without the Tiny, but Tiny was still somehow there.
Yep. And it's just great reading of the situation from Monkeys and Stark. You can't blame them. Like, they wanted to try and force the issue. If they could find those kills, secure a kill on the Wisp when he came back so they could fight underneath that tier 1 tower. Because if they didn't do that, they knew they were going to get jumped. And it was really that simple.
Smoke. They need to get Crit here first.
Yeah, or else he's just going to keep him up. Then again, they blink out. Well, they're going to get Crit first. But where's the supporters coming to the tier 1 tower? Crit, he can't get the stick charges off, so he will end up dying while No-Tail turns for another toss. Just a little bit of chip damage, still no avalanche available, and no support coming in, so No-Tail will die. Slider couldn't reach him. The tombstone dropped and the Undying minions were made, so there was no way for the Slider just to blink himself forward.
That was a great 5-minute smoke because it netted them almost 3K gold change. It's pretty insane. But, you know, that's just how far Monkey Business are right now. They were over 10,000 gold ahead before that fight.
I'd still be careful of how far Stark pushed this. Like, you brought a lot of players up to the top lane. You still have the Earthshaker farming up. Slider is ready to jump, and he's going for the armlet build. And when you're ready to hit that tier 1 tower on the top, more than likely you'll have to wait for fortification, and then the Wisp Tiny can relocate in behind you. You do not take the risk. In 4 seconds' time, we're probably going to see a kill on bottom lane.
Yeah.
AKA Echo Slam into Lion. You're committed for one play. Like, you don't care. Like, you just want kill after kill after kill.
Technically, I think he can do it without
Maybe there's
Echo
another one
Slam.
on top. There goes your Ember Spirit. You think you can do it without the Echo?
Yeah, you Fisher?
But if he gets
Oh,
hexed,
okay.
like, I think he's... Oh, wait, he still gets hexed!
Yeah, okay, see.
Where was the stun?
No, the problem is that he...
He's dead. That's the
the real problem.
That's... Okay. Queen? Yeah, okay.
Anyway, the problem is he only had level 2 Aftershock. Earthshaker, that's probably one of the slight intricacies that if you play the hero a lot, then you'll read, but...
Like yourself.
The level 2... The level 2 Aftershock is not enough to chain stun somebody because it takes a full second of animation for Enchant Totem or Fisher.
So you need the
right?
level 3, which now he has.
Yeah, so in any sort of situation where it's an instant stun coming out from the hero, in this case Hex, you will not be able to chain stun him. If there was an animation, say it was like a Queen of Pain and you're talking about like her blinking away, yeah, you'll still be able to chain stun her. She won't be able to blink fast enough. But yeah, the Hex is just fast enough. He needed to lead with the Fisher. Is the thing there, because the Fisher is obviously a much longer stun duration. Because then he could do...
So you Fisher from the trees, you jump into Echo Slam, you follow up with...
Well, that's the thing. That's why I was saying he may not even need Echo Slam if he does it correctly, because he Fishers, he hits with the Enchant Totem, and then he'll still have enough time to Enchant Totem again, hits again. Hopefully that one-shots the Lion. I'm not sure if it actually would or not, because he does have the Trinkle Boots armor. To help him out, but it would have been close. And if he's not dead by then, you still have the instant Echo Slam to follow it up. But that's one way you can do that combo, and it leaves the Echo Slam for last, which is the best part, right? Because if you do end up one-shotting him with the double Enchant Totems plus Fisher, then you haven't used your big ultimate, and you can hold it on for someone like Ember Spirit.
Movement's coming up now from Monkeys. They've got mech completed at the same time as the armlet is done over on the Slider, and he is just looking to amplify on the Ember Spirit. If you intimidate him back, that'll still work. They're looking for the tier 2 tower more than anything else. And with the Tiny Aghanim Scepter, it's a very simple task to achieve. In fact, Slider rotates over, and he finds Varlik's amplification. Can he get himself a bash? Yep, he can. Actually gets himself a second one as well. So the Undying will drop. You've got the speed. There goes Ember Spirit's jump up. You get a kill on the Undying, you take out the tier 2 tower at the top lane, and now it's the rotation to the mid. Step by step, Stark are having everything that they own taken away from them.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. At this point, I'm not sure what Stark really do besides just...
Oh, we get the Hex. That works.
Time. No,
but toss and then punch him. That'll do the work.
Hit him with your big stick, Toby. That's what you gotta do. I mean, at this point, Stark just like they accept losses, right? They lose their Lion in exchange for just like 30 seconds more farm time on Boogie. You farm up the Battle Fury. That is your.
But your problem is you're farming at Battle Fury and you're still only at like a level 2 Slider Fist. It's.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great.
No.
Believe me, it's a losing scenario. It's lose-lose, but your only hope is finishing up Battle Fury and somehow using that to defend high ground.
Whoops. Earthshaker just popped the Echo Slam. Missed absolutely everything. Relocate's going to come to bottom lane, though. And yeah, there goes Trixie down. And they'll have to relocate back up again. Fly's still hanging around here. He's got a Glimmer Cape, and they're perfing the Tombstone. Fly, he's actually... Okay, there's a double stun and a Sonic Wave. No-Tail can't one-charge it. I really feel like that relocate back. They thought they still had the Earthshaker as well as Fly ready to fight for him. But not the case.
Not a great idea.
No. And almost 3.5k swing.
Considering what they could have just done is just leave the
Wisp?
The Wisp, and he could have relocated out to someone like Fly, who could have like glimmer caped to, you know, a safe area.
Yeah. All they had to do was just sit up at the secret shop, and you're right. You just like you tether out to the Lich, and then glimmer cape him. You just run away.
Miracle, this is going to be quite fortunate.
Yep.
Unless they have counter
break
vision.
smoke, and the answer is yes. They actually have dust on the Undying, but Valix, he was a little too far away and may have felt like popping it when he was up in the lane still was not the greatest idea. Trixie?
Yeah, Trixie ain't.
Yeah.
You're not completing that one.
No.
That's one of those, like, I'm just going to keep charging so I hit this hard camp just to do, you know, damage to clear through it faster.
Oh, now he's going to die. Amplification's up. We got a bash. We have ourselves a run away. And he'll charge into the lane, but he's very visible here.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no tell. Missed the timing on it. He comes from
we got him!
and actually ulted him before the bash will connect. He goes to the Nether Strike. That'll connect, but now Nether Strike gets to be on cooldown for 70 seconds. And he gets to be dead for 40. This is actually the chance to push up. Actually, well, okay, maybe it's a chance to try and find a kill. Coming off that Lion, Tani can't hit anything while he's a frog. Has the avalanche back off cooldown and is able to connect into the Lion. And this now means Tombstone is also down. You've got no Wisp, you've got no Spirit Breaker. I mean, you got no Lion, you got no Spirit Breaker. Your control factors are basically gone out the window.
Yeah, I think the Monkey Business are doing a really great job capitalizing on their leads. Fly is throwing down some counter wards. He got to up some really aggressive vision, so he knew exactly, like, okay, they threw some sort of ward in, you know, in their jungle. Very likely they warded up the ramp. And it's all thanks to these two very aggressive wards that they have. He's also coupled them with a counter ward just to make sure, you know, he does see potential ramp vision. And this is what you do. I mean, you just control the Stark side of the base. And you make sure that they're locked inside. And the important thing is you don't lose control by being overly aggressive and dying, right? The biggest thing is that you have to couple these heroes, or these aggressive wards with heroes. You can't allow the enemy team to push past them because then the wards are useless.
Yep. Well, they got the perfect ward right now. They see the Ember Spirit coming in, the Fissure. There's your first on follow-up, and then just toss him up. No shields. And they still have that Obs ward on the cliffside. There's double amplification.
No!
The damage still connected on the Lion. But the Lion's able to get back out, but with the 4-staff now up for the Slaughter, he just goes into the base. Trixie charges back out, but right now they're losing their tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. And where the hell did Wisp just go? He actually went into base to kill the Lion.
Yeah, why not?
Yep. And he'll leave in 2 seconds' time. Say hello to Trixie. And then come back to his friends. And they're ready to attack the tier 3 tower.
We're probably not going to be seeing a fight for 20 seconds. So, Toby, have you ever seen the Luna Ags Wisp combo?
No, I haven't.
It's called Orbital Bombardment.
No, that is so terrible. That is so terrible.
The thing is, Toby...
If you want that, just build an Aghanim Scepter on a Gyrocopter.
No. The thing is, Toby, that Ags upgrade on Luna is so legit. It's actually so amazing.
Yes.
I had a game...
Why?
I had a game where I had this garbage-ass Luna who was so terrible. She was terrible at farming. So she was super far behind, and I told her, I was like, you're so far behind, your physical damage isn't going to mean jack. Get an Aghanim Scepter. And it was so good.
Okay. I would agree if you're an Alchemist in the mid and then you give Luna an Aghanim's upgrade, I would be okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's super legit.
And I can understand it from the point of view where you wouldn't have the Luna die because the strength increase was nice. So having the Aghanims with it, I could understand that. Yeah. But to give up something like a Mana Style or a BKB to get that, I don't know, dude. Boogie, real trouble. Sonic Wave, one more hit from Notel. He was too busy reeling back from the initial charge through from the Spirit Breaker, which did take out the Wisp. Notel has to retreat back out. He just starts to flutter. Not enough movement speed, however. Now he's got an Undying minion right behind him. Gets rid of it. The blink down. He actually tried to dodge him. The stun from the line actually connected over on Miracle. So he's also having troubles to go throw that Lich ulti back in again. Hits pretty heavily onto Lion, but now it's just Monkey going one by one, feeding Stark kills, and especially Nemphy. He's getting so much money from this fight.
There was a lot of question marks in that team fight.
But this happened on bottom lane. So bottom ranks are still gone.
I mean, Monkey Business definitely shouldn't have pushed their luck and should have just accepted that they got the bottom lane of racks and backed out from there. But that whole team fight, there was a lot of weird things that happened. Like, toss stun. The Chain Frost bounced like 1,000, 1,500 range or something absurd. Like, I don't even know how that happened, but...
The toss, by the way, wasn't meant to... He meant to be throwing the Queen of Pain back.
Yeah.
Like, Notel's idea was the fact that Nefi would overblink him, miss the scream, and then just throw the Queen of Pain back out again, which means he could run himself away.
Yeah.
That was the goal. The goal was not achieved. Miracle is going to achieve a different goal. It's Trixie. That was a point-blank range charge. He's got no way out of this one. Blink forward with the avalanche toss, and in fact, Lion doesn't take damage in that, surprisingly, so he's able to blink himself away to safety. But there goes your relocate from Crit again. He's actually taking Notel with him all the way back to base.
Yeah,
So
they're not going to push yet.
They're coming for Roshan.
Yeah, Roshan's up. They take it so quickly with
Look how
Slardar
fast he
and
moves.
Tiny.
He TP's the tier 2 tab, blinks, flutters, and now also it's a double damage route. Okay, this is...
Oh, yeah.
This is just easy.
The butterfly builds that No-Tail has innovated is incredibly legit. I really like it. Like, it gives you the almost the same attack speed as you would get out of an AC. You get a similar amount of armor because of all the agility that you're getting. And the flutter is like insanely strong on Tiny. Like, whoop whoop, all of a sudden you have a sprinting Tiny as well as a sprinting Slardar. Like, it's pretty absurd. And look at him, he goes up to 480 movement speed without the Wisp. I'm surprised that I have yet to see anybody else build the Tiny this way.
Well, we don't really see that many Tinies. The only other Tinies we used to see was something like Bamboo, who used to run on the off lane.
Yeah.
That was the only other
you
times
see
we
like
really-
Alliance and Nip still run Tiny Wisp.
Dire's middle
But-
tower is under attack.
And this tier 3 tower is gone. They just beat the crap out of it. And you've got a smoked up Stark lineup. So they look like they're missing inside the base. But No-Tail just keeps going to work. They move in closer, and this Ember Spirit, he's getting so close the smoke can break, and yep, now they see him. Avalanche gonna miss, he actually jumps out, but then you tether up, you isolate Miracle, the Echo Slam. It comes to connect, but they don't kill the Ember Spirit, but he jumps back to a defensive Spirit, which is right next to No-Tail, while the Wisp may end up dying. No-Tail's still here to achieve the objective-based gaming. That's the mid-melee racks, and Slardust waiting for that chance to jump in. They pop the Undying ulti, but they move back out of range of the Tombstone. A little bit of a missed crush there. And No-Tail, okay, now he's going to finally come back to help out his teammates. They do lose the Earthshaker. Blink 1 second off cooldown. It's going to be put back into it. Doesn't matter. Avalanche in. The Lich Ulti bounce back in. And there's your double crush coming in from Miracle. Valix as well as Lion. No way to run through this one. They're cleaving him through. And then the Soul Rip. Okay, well, you bring the SB back to life. And Monkey Business will give them some space, but they already took mid-racks.
I mean, I guess it's because the Aegis on the Tiny, but I'm pretty sure you have nothing left to lose there. You might as well just run at the team once you bought back on Trixie. I think you should have just forced the fight.
I think they're going to again.
Like, you're going to lose this game.
That charge is coming down to bottom lane. Miracle realizes he's visible, has the blink, and then just stuns up over on Trixie. Well, there goes your Aegis. Namphy, he's hanging around a lot longer than I thought he was going to, and ends up dying. And then forced up. Oh, what a double crush from Miracle. There's a lot of life left on that line until he gets cleaved off from No-Tail. They might have that Tombstone down, but it's going to get mopped up very, very quickly. Valix tries to Soul Rip it up, but with the Avalanche, it still connects. No-Tail's got his eyes on the prize. The toss is there, but Miracle doesn't require it. They might be charging in, but now he's going to get tossed. There it is. GG is the call. Do you get a bash to make it even sweeter? No, you don't. But the first game will go the way of Monkeys, and this means we have a guaranteed tiebreaker. But still, Stark, if they lose the next game, they are out to Power Rangers. I say guaranteed. They can guarantee a 1-1.
Yeah,
same result.
What we've guaranteed is that Power Rangers will play another game,
Yes,
whether it's
they
in
have the
Phase 2 or a tiebreaker. They've guaranteed something. So we'll see if Stark can actually win this next game and even it up 1-1 in order to force it to that tiebreaker, or if they lose against Monkey Business and just end up giving that spot over to Power Rangers.
It's possible. Yep.
Real quickly,
Go.
the Aghanim's Luna thing, just so anybody's not confused, that's like a 0.001%. Like, that's like, my Luna was like 45 minutes in with like Treads Yasha and had like 2k gold. That's the sort of dire circumstances we were in. Don't do
it.
that build.
Don't do it.
I make sure that my advice, like when I tell these stories, I don't want to see it in my pubs. Okay?
You don't want to affect
do
the
that.
meta? Yes. There's a lot better things you can buy on a
Yeah.
Luna. All right. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be back. Game number 2.